Hello and welcome to tonight's episode of Loot, Die, Repeat, a show where a bunch of us schmucks sit around and roll dice, laugh mostly at Jake and Hannah, and do some collaborative storytelling that is known as Dungeons and Dragons. We've continued to work out and try to iron through some of the technical difficulties that we've had. We're hoping, fingers crossed, that all the sound issues and camera issues have been addressed. But as with previous weeks, if things do freeze, please let us know in the comments immediately so that we can address it as quickly as possible. And of course, we thank you for your patience with us and that you are sticking through this and growing with us as we grow together. Of course, you may have noticed if you checked out our YouTube channel that the last 2 episodes haven't been uploaded, and those should be uploaded later this week, tomorrow, hopefully, and then this episode will probably be uploaded next week, and so on and so forth. You can, we would love for you to follow us, subscribe even if you have an Amazon Prime account. You get a free Twitch subscription, so we would love if you would link your account and give that to us. Everything that we earn will go directly back into protection, and hopefully one day, maybe somewhere out there, we will be able to move into our own little studio room, and that'll make everything much, much easier instead of playing in my office boardroom. Okay, well, anyone have any other announcements? I hope you all voted today. Everyone hopefully voted today. Did your civic duty. Rich, you jerk. And we hope you all voted as well. And if you didn't vote, don't do it now because you should stay here and watch us. But
the hell with your civic duty.
Right. Over and out now. Unless anyone else has anything to announce, Hannah and Molly will be joining us in a bit. They're just running a little bit behind, and that's okay. But we are going to jump into tonight's episode of Loot, Die, Repeat.
No!
Rich! 1 week. Couldn't get away with it.
And there's our intro. All right. Well, we are going to start with a recap, as is our custom. So after coming together to defend the city of Waterdeep from a surprise attack, our party accepted a quest to find Floon Bragmore. Following the clues to an old warehouse, the party was ambushed by a clutch of bird creatures. Fighting off the would-be Kenku assassins, they managed to secure some items of interest and find Rainier Neverember. After learning that the crime syndicate known as the Zentarum had kidnapped the 2 men in the hopes of learning the location of a hidden treasure hoard somewhere in the city, and that Floon had been taken below the town for further questioning, the City Watch arrived. Seeing that our crew had been caught in the midst of the gang war between the Zent and the Xanathar Guild, the Watch let them go with a warning to keep the blood off the streets of the city. After a brief stop to rest and sell some silver, the party ventured into the sewers where they found several symbols that led them through the twisting, stinking tunnels below. Eventually, the party came across a hidden base in the sewers. Taking care of the Gazer sentries and getting covered with raw sewage in the process, the party found their way into the base, killed several of the bandits, and found Floon being tortured in the central chamber. After a dark figure turned invisible and fled into another room, the party, led by the forceful power of Vincent's magic missiles, killed the orc wizard who was torturing Floon, along with the brain creature left to guard the Dark One's escape. But not before Eli had his mind wiped of almost every ounce of intelligence and was unceremoniously skewered by an errant blow from Solon. The party now finds itself in the midst of this crime syndicate hideout with Floon in chains, Eli bleeding out, and several unexplored chambers around them. And it's here that we will pick up tonight's episode. So, team, what do you wish to do?
I think at the end of last week, Hold had a key from around the neck of the torturer, questioner, inquisitor.
Yes,
And
you
he
did get a.
He attempted to use it on the lock,
That's
on the
correct.
flume,
That is correct.
and it failed, right?
It did fail.
So Hold will get aggressive and try to rip it off the wall.
Rip
You're
the
gonna get
chains off the
physical?
wall.
Yeah.
All right. Roll your athletics check, please.
Come on, baby. 22.
Both chains are ripped off of the wall. He is still bound by the chains, and they are about 4 feet long apiece, and probably weigh about 20 pounds apiece. They're good, thick chains. And it wasn't the chains that you broke, it's just that you ripped their moorings right out of the stone wall.
Okay.
So he's still attached to the chain.
So he is still attached to the chains,
And he is conscious.
and he is conscious, though clearly very hurt and very scared. And so he just is staring at you all wide-eyed, and then he looks at you and he says, Who are you? You say you came to save me, thank you. Let's get out of here, please. I don't want to stay any longer.
Yeah,
No.
hang on. We gotta get those chains off you. Did you see if this orc had anything on him? And I start shuffling through the orc's stuff.
Roll investigation.
16.
So Hold had already rifled through, and he found some things that are in his possession. But as you turn the body over, which Hold did not do previously, you find a little pouch on his kind of back underneath his cloak. And inside that pouch are 2 potions. One of them looks very similar to the red potions that the Lightkeeper gave you. And one of them is a greenish color that bubbles with kind of yellow bubbles inside, and has a marking on the topper of essentially a brain with like little radiating lights coming out of it.
Can I make a check on that? See if I recognize what it could be, or
Roll an
if
Arcana
I've
check.
seen something like that before. 22.
22. In your studies, you know that there are many spells and many potions which can be alchemically derived to mimic spells. And in looking at the composition of this potion, and you kind of uncork it and smell it and take a little dab of it, you get the sense that this potion has some sort of restorative effect to it, though the exact
It's got a brain of
exact type of restorative properties you're not quite sure.
I'm gonna become a genius.
Good point. Even better.
Eli, I need you to make a death save.
Okay. That's an 8.
Okay, that's 1 failure. What do the rest of you wish to do?
Is that staff still there?
The staff is just laying in the pool of his exploded brain matter, as his blood is just spilling out and pooling on the floor.
Maybe if we shoved his brain into Eli's head. I'm gonna snatch that.
All right, so you can add Grumshar's staff to your list of items.
But only if you spell it right.
That's true. You have to spell it right.
Yeah.
Is his name written on the staff?
Property.
Grum
Not close.
apostrophe
These are my weakness. Whoever
space,
brought these, I hate you.
shar.
I'm sorry. Fighting it out.
All right.
That's what took me so long. All right. Morthos, you are kind of standing over here in the corner,
Yep.
unaware of what's going on for the most part in the other room.
Yep.
What are you doing here? You're aware that there is a guy
Yep. I got it there.
that you looked in and saw was sleeping in that room.
I think I will join the other guys in the other room.
Okay, so you move in. While that's going on,
Eyeing him up.
while that's going on, Melsine, what are you doing?
I don't think I have any more spells, but I wanna kind of go over to Eli, and I mean, there's not anything I can really do, but
You can
just kind of.
you can try to stabilize him with a medicine check.
Can I do that?
Absolutely.
All right. 16.
So
So 24.
So while you don't have any more spells left to heal him specifically, you're able to rip off some of his just clothing and tie it around
Okay.
his armor and wound to try to pinch it shut and really stem the tide of the bleeding. And he's kind of laying there, bleeding out of his side, and the drool is just coming out of his mouth with this kind of glazed expression on his face. You don't know what you can do about that, but he does seem to not be in danger of bleeding out anymore.
Okay.
So I'm at no more death saves. right?
Correct. Yeah.
What the hell happened to him?
Wow. There was some type of creature, it was a brain, I don't know, struck him. Now he is dumb.
Well, he was dumb before. So.
Right, but now he's incapacitated.
Rule them.
Floon, we were sent by your friend Volo.
Of course you were. He would. He's a good man.
Is there anyone here who has a potion left?
What kind of potion are you looking for?
A health potion.
I believe I have one.
Our mission was to grab Floon. We probably should heal him up.
Alright, well, here you go.
You gonna carry him out then?
With my pinky.
So
And
he takes it and uncorks it. He trusts you and downs it, and I'm not even gonna roll.
And you gave him the poison flask.
He looks reinvigorated.
If only.
Floon, we've come across many enemies down here. Have you ever used a chain whip before?
No.
Currently, I can't get this off of your hand, but you can use it as a weapon in case we do run across enemies.
Okay. I think I'll probably stay behind you guys, if that's okay.
What does that mean?
That means that the enemies should fight you before they get to me.
That's right.
Okay.
I'm over by Eli now.
Okay. So you move up to next to Eli there?
Yeah, and now the door behind me, is there the sound? Can I hear anything?
Roll perception.
Okay.
I think he did hear last time.
That's what I thought.
Oh, yeah, I think you did as well.
Let's
Gotta
role play.
remember.
Melsine had run through and rolled
Yes.
perception.
Oh,
He
okay.
did not.
12.
So you go up to it, and you put you're up next to it, and there's silence. You don't really hear anything.
Okay, and
It does. It's not closed fully. It's slightly ajar, though not to the degree where you can really look in and see anything. But it's clearly not locked. Yeah.
I'm gonna check for traps.
Okay. Go ahead and roll investigation.
Okay. 15.
Doesn't look trapped to you.
Morthos, you mind coming over here? Take a look at this.
I thought you might say that. I would like to check the traps myself.
Roll investigation.
Ooh.
Is that a natural 20?
No.
19.
Yeah, it's you look at it, you don't see anything on here, and from a practical standpoint, it doesn't seem like they would necessarily trap the inside of their hideout.
Though they did bar a door from the opposite side.
They did.
They did do
Does
that.
it seem like we can open this door?
That's just
Oh yeah, it's
storage.
unlocked.
Does he have
It's
that far
it's.
door?
Can
No.
I
The one
look
where
in
the
to
world-
just peer in, not
So you're just trying to look in.
yeah. Like,
All right, roll stealth.
17.
Okay.
You get shot in the face by a trap you didn't see.
Move the mind control.
Yeah, much bigger.
Oh man, your vision's real good.
He's elf.
Yeah,
now it
yeah,
is.
elf.
Oh, ruh-roh.
That's not there.
And so, as you look in, there are several things that catch your eye. You see 4 large central pillars that provide support for the ceiling. Torches on the front 2 pillars provide low light to the room, but there are no other light sources around, save for some very low coal burning kind of sconces at the back of the room in front of a large stone statue of a robed man holding an unfurled piece of paper. The face and head of the statue has been painted over with purple and yellow, with a large white central eye. The room is otherwise empty, with the exception of a small 3-foot pedestal that sits in the middle of the room next to a small raised dais with several arcane inscriptions written upon the dais in a circular pattern. On top of the dais seems to be a small brain with legs watching the room, though you're pretty confident it has not noticed you.
Is it the same creature that?
It is, in fact, the one, same as the one that lies down at your feet.
Okay. And I kind of, peer back and I say, well, it is a somewhat large room with one of those creatures that did this to my friend here at the center. But there does seem to be a statue, kind of vandalized, but I'm not sure what to make of it. I don't know.
Should we maybe send him in? Couldn't hurt him anymore. Right? He's like pretty much brain.
Hey, my buddy's almost dead. You're gonna kill the dead guy?
He's
brain
he's not conscious. He's just not bleeding out.
Yeah.
So
What do you mean vandalized? Like, tipped over vandalized, beheaded vandalized? Like, are they mean? Are they angry? Like, what?
Well, the color different. It's a statue where there's purple and gold and even an eye on it.
Didn't the Zucchini Guild wear purple and gold?
The Xanathar.
Sure, the Zucchini Guild.
I believe I heard that.
So the Kenku had kind of brownish orangish clothing on.
No, the person in the square, they had like the purple hood from the attack days ago.
So Yavo the Cruel, who is the one mentioned to be an assassin for the Xanathar Guild, was dressed in prison garb.
The shopkeeper likes purple.
Yeah. I don't think there's a connection there.
Okay.
Can-
What did you find?
I found this potion with a brain on it.
What kind of brain?
What's it do?
An evil brain?
I don't know, maybe we should test on somebody.
I think you're onto something there.
Maybe him?
Yeah, maybe.
Couldn't hurt him anymore. I slap him around. See if you.
He's too stupid to say yes or
He's,
no anyway.
he's,
so-
he's
Wait,
unconscious.
wait.
He's still technically at 0 hit points.
Anybody?
Okay.
Can
Just not
I check this?
Prop open his mouth.
I
He's gonna hold it open right there, ready. Go ahead.
I've studied alchemy.
All right.
Shall I check it first?
Nah,
Okay.
Nah.
we're good.
Just shove it
All
down
right,
there.
so you pour it down his gullet, and
Oh my God, it kills you.
as it goes down his throat, there seems to be a golden light that kind of begins to emanate near his heart and spread out over his body, and then resonate around his brain for a couple of seconds, and then dissipate. He's still at 0 hit points.
Does he look healable at this point, though?
Absolutely.
Does he got color back in his eyeballs?
He's unconscious but not bleeding out.
I don't have any.
I have a healing word left.
Do you?
Yeah. What I'm thinking of.
What are you thinking about, girl? Help him out.
Hey, somebody
I'm
else is
thinking
thinking about a
about
potion.
how I
so...
rolled.
Anything you could do for my friend.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I've got a healing word. It's my last healing word, but I'll use it on him. 4. Heal.
All right, roll your d4 plus your charisma, right?
Yeah, I think you have my sheets.
Oh, I do?
Yeah, I think you took them at the end of last game.
These are modifiers.
Check that you have, if they're in there.
Nice. I got a
and
4.
check
I'm pretty sure my charisma.
underneath.
Because I didn't take them home.
Okay. Well,
Oh.
your charisma's plus 4.
Yeah, that's what I
I
thought.
mean, I have
8.
your
Hey.
8. Nice. So max healing.
Are you okay?
You owe me.
Eli,
What happened?
good to see you.
Just grab his hand. I am so sorry. I didn't see you there. I was aiming and then all of a sudden I just
She kicked her butt.
I don't.
Kinda
I did.
true.
I did. Sometimes the wise do too much. Or the wise shouldn't do as much as they should. They can, but only as much as they should. And I was not living by that philosophy. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Can I wander back into that
It's
room with the
good
table
to
and
have
kind
you
of look
back.
around?
Yeah, absolutely.
It looks like there's a bookshelf.
You fought valiantly.
So you see
Thank
a
you.
table with some food on it,
Mm-hmm.
and the bookshelf in the side just has some knick-knacky stuff. Nothing really of value. Plates, bowls. It's like where they put their dinnerware.
Okay.
How much effort was it to kill the brain creature?
Well,
Don't mess with that.
after losing him, we went down fairly quick, but I don't know. I don't know if there's another potion around.
That
I
thing.
think we got lucky there.
Yeah, maybe we should have only used half of it, and he could have had like half of a brain, which is like a quarter of a normal person's
need
brain,
another
but
potion?
still.
I'm not sure if that's how potions
brain
work,
potion.
but
To restore.
Just don't mess with that thing, man.
Yeah.
So you're saying we shouldn't go after the other room?
I just saw a lot of lights.
I don't recommend it, but
Lothars, you arrived late, yes?
Yes.
What did you see?
I saw him laying on the ground. He told me what happened.
Before you came here.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
You
Any other room?
You would remember that you opened up one of the doors and looked in
Oh,
and
yeah.
saw a sleeping man.
I thought everyone knew that though. I thought I said that.
No idea.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Not that I maybe
actually, I saw him last time.
Yeah, I was just saying. I thought
think I was
somebody
in the
else was the
same
one that saw
room.
him.
You did.
Yeah,
I
he
did. Yeah, I say. I think yeah.
I was
And I-
too busy
and I
killing
said-
Eli.
Okay.
I said there's
Very
somebody
good.
in there.
I didn't see anything.
I didn't hear.
So you're not gonna tell me?
In the other room, there's a guy sleeping.
There's,
Maybe he has information.
we should keep him alive.
Why did I not think of that? That's a good idea.
I start walking towards that room
I
You're
will follow
stabby,
hole.
stabby, die, die.
immediately,
I just want to kill.
and I will attempt to sneak in and grapple him while he's sleeping.
So the big metal stone man is gonna sneak in.
That's right.
So you're okay. So as you do this, what are you all doing?
I'm gonna follow him. Because I'm very intimidating.
I'm gonna ask Morthos if he could take
I'm
the
6.
chains
I'm plus
off.
6 intimidating. If you remember.
Yeah.
I'll
all of my
hold him.
stats.
You.
I'm gonna be following him in like kind of a panic, like.
Be ready to look to see
Oh,
if there's
what's he
anything
doing?
around.
Oh, what's he doing?
Other than what was on Grumshar.
What are the rest of you guys doing?
I
I'm gonna
take
look
it we're
around.
leaving this room alone.
I was actually gonna
For
see
now.
what was around the room. Like look around.
Around this room here?
Yeah.
There are 4 small little sconces that have lights. There's blood and brain matter spattered across the floor, and chains that have been ripped out of the walls, still affixed to Floon, who stands before you looking rather vigorous after you healed him with a potion. And he is just staying in your midst, just essentially listening and following.
Can I
what you're
attempt to
saying.
pick his locks of the chain?
That you can do.
Smart. Very smart. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a 27.
First one comes off. Roll the next.
Oh.
Oh, the trigger. Yep.
22.
That one comes off. The chain.
I figured it would not be a good idea for him to make all this noise.
Plus
Dragging
3 lock picking for lock picking.
Plus 3 experience.
Plus 3.
So close.
Okay. Very good. And
Does anyone have a dagger or something for him to hold?
Well,
For who?
Sparky over here has got 2 sticks now.
there's also several
I have one
weapons
stick.
from the enemies
Laying
laying on the ground.
Floon, pick up
And
that
it's a
short
staff.
sword.
He goes over and he picks up the dead bandit had a short sword and picks that up.
Just in case. I'm still sitting on the ground, just scratching my head.
Yep.
But just in case we need it, I'd rather have you armed.
And so he's in here, standing behind Rygar. Anyone else moving from out of here?
Yeah, I want to stand up and move in, but I want to look at some of the doors we haven't looked at.
I'm gonna be admiring
Okay.
folds behind.
I'm just kind
Nelsie?
From
of
behind.
following Eli, just
It's like I'm seeing
making
you
sure
and
he's
everybody.
okay.
All right, very good.
I'm gonna listen to the door that Melcine was just at, see if I can hear anything from over there.
Okay, roll perception.
Oof.
9.
You don't hear anything. Sound silent, and you don't see any light coming from under the door or anything.
I'm gonna open the door.
Oh boy.
Okay.
We're just gonna open it.
Ballsy move, Cotton.
I don't hear anything. We're trying to do other things.
Oh. Empty, dark room.
Okay, I'm gonna follow everyone else.
Okay. You do see that there's another door to the right.
Oh, is there? I'm gonna go through the little
boy.
door.
Party
Okay.
tactics.
So you go in. It's dark in there.
I have dark vision.
I know. So I'm saying you're currently in here. Morthos and Vincent, you do see Sola go in here. I don't know if you want to say anything.
Sola. Sola.
Hola, where are you going?
Well, the party's headed that way.
Shouldn't we look for other people who might be trapped in here?
Not by ourselves.
Well, come with me.
Alright, well, give me a sec. I'm gonna start scooping up some brain matter from that brain creature into the
Okay.
vial that had the brain.
Yeah. So
potion
you
in it.
poured out the potion, and you can certainly use that to take some brain matter. So put intellect devour brain matter on your sheet, and so
Then I'll follow Sola.
Morthos, what are you doing?
Because these two are idiots, I will follow them.
Good job, guys. We just split the party.
Do
All right.
I
Well done.
Nothing like 3 idiots.
do I
And so-
do I see them headed the other direction?
Roll perception.
Not 20.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
You hear them. You hear Vincent call out and say, "Sola, where are you going?"
Okay.
You immediately turn and see her disappear into the door that none of you had opened before.
Guys.
And then you see Vincent quickly scoop something into a little jar,
Okay.
follow after her, and Morthos follow as well.
Just so you know, 3 of them went that way.
So as you are saying that to Vincent, Hold is at the door, stealthing it open. Go ahead and roll your stealth.
That was your joint.
Hey. 10.
10. So Hold,
Best one ever.
you open it up and you see a man there who is lying still in bed.
Oh.
Yeah, I will walk up to him. Is he laying on his side or his back or his stomach?
He is laying. He's laying on his side.
Oh, that's fine.
For murdering.
I'm going to grapple him.
Okay, as you get up to him, he jumps out of his bed and thrusts a knife at you.
That is rough.
And I'm gonna.
Ooh, that's a 19 on the die,
Ruh-roh.
which is a 22.
Got me. He got me.
No.
He was prepared. He was only fake
And
sleeping.
he does 4 piercing
He
damage
heard-
to you.
He heard me.
And I need you to roll initiative
Oh boy.
along with Rygar and Jax.
Baby.
Oh. That doesn't matter. Just go
Get it out now.
Just initiative.
Yeah.
last.
11.
Right, I'm just gonna stand there getting stabbed.
These are
Rygar?
dangerous.
19.
I know.
Hold, what were you?
Before I grab him.
I'm just gonna do this.
Hold, were you a 1?
Yes, I was.
Alright, Rygar, you see the enemy jump up on the bed and stab
The
Hold,
joints need to be oiled.
finding
You were just
a
really
gap
surprised.
in his massive armor.
Alright, I bring my arrow out and I just fire, trying to hit, like,
You don't really have you see this happen, but with Hold's massive frame in front of you, you don't really have a view of him. You'd have to move closer and kind of get into the room to actually be able to take a shot.
okay. I'll move up to there, try and get an angle.
Slide
and-
over the table.
Yeah, right?
You're a cool way.
You can get right there in that spot. You are in melee range, so you would be at a disadvantage to shoot your arrow.
Interesting. Okay. So I do have short swords, right? Yeah. So I'll bring out my short swords.
Yeah, roll your attack.
Oof.
Don't kill him.
Crit.
Crit.
In a negative
Oh
sense.
boy.
Crit fail.
Crit fail.
Oh,
Roll
great.
your
Kill
d20.
you.
You have a lot of things that break.
Nice.
Sorry. 5. 11.
Well,
It's just whatever the roll,
Five.
straight roll. 5.
Yeah.
that'll tell you what you do.
Gotcha.
So you swing and you kind of step and trip. You step on Hold's foot and trip. The next attack against you in this combat, it will be at advantage because you're so off balance.
Okay.
And in fact, he sees you swing at him, and so he goes and thrusts his sword back at you,
Oh, good guys.
and that is a 21 to hit.
That's gonna hit.
Yeah, and so that is a 6 piercing damage. Okay. Jax, you are up.
I think
You
so.
see this going on. You see the commotion going around. You can't really see it. You hear it more than anything.
So I don't know who's winning and who's losing.
You do not.
I am just going to assume that Hold grappled the guy, so I'm going to move towards the door.
Okay. And as you do, you see Hold standing there with Rygar having just been stabbed and kind of recoiling from the wound, and the man is in view but heavily obscured from you.
Okay. So now I know my team got stabbed, so I'm going to call out to my friends on the other side of the room. Guys? Just like that. And I guess all I have is Vicious Word at this point. I've used up all my spells. I've got like 1 Bardic Inspiration left.
11.
You
Mine's 13.
So he fails. Roll your damage.
What are you gonna mock him with?
Oh man. Just 1.
1. Okay. And
Get him,
he
Hold!
has disadvantage on his next attack.
Correct.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold, you are up.
I'm still going to try to restrain him or grapple him.
All right, roll your athletics. I rolled a crit fail.
Nice.
And
Oh
so
my
do
goodness.
I. But I got a 9.
He has advantage though.
Yeah. Nah,
the vicious mock puts him at disadvantage.
He has disadvantage on his next
Oh.
attack.
Yeah.
I got a 9.
You win.
Thank God. Yeah, so he is grappled, and I will use.
Headbutt.
Is he on the bed?
He is standing up on the bed, which puts him almost at eye level with you.
Yeah, so we're gonna move backwards.
Okay.
So we're both on the ground, or I can.
So
I'll
you
rotate him in between me and Rhaegar.
So you can use half of, you can use your, it takes half movement, which is fine. And you kind of move it here
Yep,
and,
that's what I'm doing. Yep.
and pull him off the bed so he is between the two of you.
Yep.
Very good. Rygar, you
And
are
then I say, Rhaegar, knock him out.
Unarmed attack, I guess.
unarmed attack.
You can blunt.
So you take your sword and just go pommel to his temple.
Sure.
Make your attack.
That is 20.
20 hits.
Unnatural.
Roll your damage. He's
Nice.
starts bleeding down. Looks being held. 9 damage.
9 damage. Yep.
And he's
If you
it
say you want,
opens
just
up a
knock him out, you
massive
don't
wound
die.
on his face, and the blood just starts pouring out.
Ranged or spells.
He looks at you and he just tries to break free from your grasp. And
Real quick.
that's a 6.
He
24.
had advantage on the attack because he's flanked.
He did have advantage on
He
the
only
attack.
rolled once.
Okay, you can roll 2, see if you
Just
crit.
roll your d20 again to see if you crit. You did not. Okay,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So he struggles to get free and cannot get free. And and Jax, it is now your turn.
Jax, get the information. Oh, I can't talk.
And Jax is going to hold her turn for hold.
Okay. Hold is going to attempt to knock him out with a punch.
Okay.
Not kill him.
You have advantage on this attack.
Yes. Come on, baby. Wow. That's 3 fails in a row.
Wow.
14.
Hits.
Oh, shoot. What was that?
And his eyes roll up in
Yeah.
his head
It's hard to see, right?
as he gets
Oh,
knocked
sweet.
out.
And LL Cool J starts playing. I'm gonna knock you out.
I'm supposed to knock you out.
I don't know my mama.
Okay?
All right.
Even
And he goes limp in your arms.
Okay. Who has rope? There's rope lying around somewhere.
Everybody has rope.
I'm pretty sure I do.
I don't.
I'm gonna look around for rope.
I have an explorer's pack. So there's
Yeah, you have rope.
Yeah.
Melcina has rope. Alright, let's flash back. Sola. That's 1 experience point for Hold and Jax and Rygar.
Woo, you got one experience.
Oh.
And it is now Morthos and Sola and Vincent. Morthos, you were saying something. What are you gonna do?
Would I have understanding of where I am in the tunnels right now? Where we travel?
You can roll a survival check.
Boss.
Survival. 11.
Not really. You've been kind of turned around. You know that you're generally below where you entered, but you're not quite sure exactly
Meaning I'm
where.
after the circle room that we are in. That one.
You know you're below there, but you're not quite
Quite
sure
where.
exactly where in orientation to that. Anyone? So you're in this room. It's dark.
Rich can't see.
Is it pitch
Vincent
black?
can't
You
see,
can't see.
We
but
can.
Sola and Morthos can. And you see
Right.
another door in front of you.
We should check to see if there's any other people who were kidnapped down here.
Okay, well, we should probably do that with the rest of the group. Seeing as
I agree with. I think we should go get to the rest of the group. We know that there are more enemies in this tunnels. We are not
This is-
alone still.
It's a very tiny room. It'd be very hard to fit more people in here.
right, that's why we go 1 at a time, or 3 at a time.
So, get the rest of the group.
I don't want to die down here very much.
But any second that we waste, more people could be getting
You can-
hurt.
You
Right,
can
so let's
roll
quit talking.
perception to see if you hear anything on the other side of the door. 23. You put your ear up to the door, and you do see a little bit of light streaming underneath of it. You hear very faint, what sounds like the turning of a book page. And as you're listening and you're back, your ear is to the door, and you're kind of looking straight ahead, you actually see in the darkness the outline of another door against the wall over here,
Over
which
there?
looks to be a hidden entrance.
Oh.
Guys, there is somebody in there, but it looks like there's a little hidden entrance right over here. We should check that out. Because someone's just reading in there, so I don't think anyone's hurt in there. But over there might be someone that's hurt.
You think somebody's just reading down here?
He might be reading, but I'm pretty sure he would try to kill us.
Right. It could be.
Probably.
You know who tends to read? Wizards.
Okay. So let's not bug this one. Let's go to the other door.
Okay. All right.
So Morthos, you can roll investigation at the other door.
Just going along with it, guys.
Yeah. 22.
So you find the outline that she's talking about, and with your dark vision, you kind of run your fingers along, and you find a stone that has a worn depression in it, and you kind of press against it, and it's.
It's twice now you found the secret door.
I know.
And
Getting good at this.
it's still pitch black,
You get 1 XP.
but as you poke your head in, you see that it leads directly out into the sewers.
Into
More
the sewers.
poop.
Yep.
We don't
Oh,
see
that's
anything.
right. I'm
You
still
don't see
covered in
anyone. It looks like a kind of backdoor
Wizard,
entrance
yeah.
into this place.
This leads to the sewers. I don't think it goes anywhere important.
Why would it be hidden if it was nowhere important?
I think it's a hidden to probably get back into this way from the outside.
Well, it makes me feel a little better that there's no one getting kidnapped over here. We can head back to the rest of the group. Shut up, guys.
Actively getting kidnapped.
Who has been kidnapped?
All right. So what are you three guys
We
doing?
convinced her to go back.
Okay.
I follow. Now that there are
I
no,
was trying.
there's
What
no,
is kidnapping?
now that there's no innocent people, being tortured that I just saw, I feel a little.
Fair enough. Fair
Well,
enough.
as you come into the room with the rest of them, you see a bandit that has a gash from his head that is bleeding out. That's just knocked out, being held by Hold.
I tell the
Oh no,
group
we're
that.
tying him up somehow.
We're tying him up.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
with the
Melcine's
rope.
there putting rope around him
Is he one of the bad
in a
guys?
chair, and he's being just
We're-
tied.
we're
How are you
kidnapping
sure?
him.
How are you sure he's bad?
He's dressed just like the other ones.
He tried to kill him.
Did we check the
Oh.
room where he
Ooh.
was?
No.
So we're getting
He
information
tried.
out of him?
Yeah,
He
can I
tried.
go back in there?
Yeah, Rygar, roll perception.
Guys, I just
18.
wanted to say.
18. You find his dagger that was dropped,
Okay.
and other than that, it's a bare sleeping quarters. You do hear a rustle of a coin purse on his body that is being tied up right now.
Take that thing.
And you walk over to it and kind of snatch it, and you
That's
find
for stabbing me.
you find not a lot, 17 copper pieces, 5 silver pieces, and 2 gold pieces.
Some cash.
Not nothing.
Cash.
Any gold.
Right now, that's not bad.
He's
Yeah.
a number one stone.
You see 2 other doors that look exactly like that one right here, and a larger door that's a heavier door, much like this one in the back there.
Possibly another torture chamber?
What is wrong with you?
Why don't we just ask them?
There's a man being bludgeoned to death!
Please hold. Please hold.
Says
That's
the
you.
man
I
who.
smacked the guy in the face a couple times to try and wake him up.
He doesn't wake.
Uh-oh.
Morthos,
Is there water anywhere? on
do you
the table?
remember one of the characters?
It's wine and some alcoholic beverage in a cup on the table.
He gets splashed in his face.
Continuing to bleed out.
Raga, you were saying.
To bleed out.
When we
Up
first,
from his head.
before we came into
He's
this
not.
room,
He's unconscious.
they mentioned something.
HP.
behind this door. They were retrieving something, correct?
That is correct. I do remember something like that.
It could be more living quarters.
I can't help.
We did
There are,
we
what,
try to
there are
leave
3
him?
doors left that we
Yeah.
have not, or they're just the 2?
1, 2, 3.
There are 3.
And then one over here.
Some stuff.
Somebody's gotta heal this guy.
But the one on the far side,
I
I
know
know that
that's
there's
it.
someone there.
That's it.
Question.
I don't think he is aware to our presence. However, we don't know where they fled to. What at the door? We didn't get to see it really.
Well, why don't you check this one, see if you can pick it, and I'll see if I can peer in.
Which one?
The one, yes, right next to Eli.
I will. Well, it is
Let's
locked.
move Eli out of the way.
It is not locked.
It's not locked, so we can. I
Check
will
it.
attempt to just
Stealthily open?
stealthily
Roll
open
stealth?
the door. That's not gonna work. It's a 10.
As you open it, it's a heavier door, while you're quiet, the door itself creaks loudly.
I'll use this guy as a shield.
What's that? Wait, what's that stuff they use to wake people
Alcohol?
up? No.
No, smelling
You
salts.
see another hallway.
Smelling
This
salts.
one is
Yeah,
pitch
there's
black.
something
There's
else.
no lighting in
It's
here.
basically a
There are
map.
3 doors. Another heavy door on the far side, much like the one you just came through, and 2 lighter doors that look like this one in here.
Should we attempt to go in?
I'm coming with you.
All right, we will go into the little room.
I'll go in there too. Searching for, kidnapped
Kidnapping.
people.
I'd like to move to
Kidnapping
the
in progress.
to the left.
No, later kidnapping.
Oh.
Innocent people who have been torn from their house.
I don't think that's their thing here.
Vincent and Jax and Rygar, what are you
They're
guys
looking
doing?
for something.
I'm
else.
with us.
Yeah,
Rygar's
I'm with
with
Morthos.
I'm just terrified that
I'm
there are more
taking a
people.
So I'm just staying here
I'm
with
with
the guy
them
by
too,
myself.
Matthew.
I'll stay.
You can put me in front of the door and put
I'll be.
Eli behind me.
I'll bring up the rear.
So you don't have dark vision.
Is the guy out of hit points?
Yeah.
Is he
Vincent, what are you doing?
He's doing death saves right now.
I'm gonna stay with Hold for the time
I'm
being.
also gonna stay with Hold because I want to interrogate my prisoner.
Um,
And this is
I also want to stay with Hold.
this is the same door that the wizard guy went through, right?
This is a door that you heard someone go
Right.
through.
Shadow.
Can I listen to see if I can hear anything at the door I'm standing in front of?
This one here?
Yep.
Yeah, roll perception.
I'm gonna do the
But
same thing.
I
See if I
do-
hear anything.
At the other door? Or the
Uh,
same one?
At
You're in a pitch dark room right now.
Right.
So, Eli, you can't see anything.
That's why I'm in the rear.
But Sola, Rygar, Morthos,
I want to
you
do
all
the
can.
far door, the heavy door.
And I do yell to them, let us know if you find anything. Because I
Okay.
don't want to.
And as you yell out,
Oh boy.
the 2
you
side
yell.
doors burst
Of course I did.
open and arrows go flying in your
Oh
direction.
yeah.
Which 2 side doors? Those
Those
2?
two.
Glad I'm not in there.
Let's close that door real quick.
Yup. See ya. I've only known you for a day.
No, at us.
Us?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
she yelled out.
Because I yelled.
You.
You're welcome.
Me and Hold and
Oh, hey, we're safe, guys.
You Yeah, we are. algae infested beast.
I don't know. I knew
So
that.
the first attack goes at Hold. And
At least I'm behind
that's
Hold,
12.
I think.
Hey, more people to interrogate.
It hits you square, but just doesn't find any room.
Right.
The second one goes at Jax, because she's in view. And that is a 20 to hit.
that's gonna
Oh
hit.
boy.
And that is
No,
4 piercing damage as the arrow
Oh, good thing I was.
sinks into you. And I need you guys, I need Jax, Vincent, Hold, Nelsine to
Stop
roll
rolling
initiative.
initiative.
Something decent.
Oh my
Not bad.
goodness.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Is that your guess of?
Alright, Jax, what was your initiative?
13.
13, Hold.
7.
7, Nelsine.
5.
Vincent.
22.
Yeah.
Guess we know who's going first.
Stick man.
Running out of here.
Paul, what was yours?
7.
All right,
Milkmaid, going
Vincent,
number 1.
you are up. You see the doors fly open and the arrows come flying out.
Oh, it's gonna be a firebolt.
Now, which one?
The one to, if I'm looking at the wall to the right.
Right?
Yeah.
Got it. Go for it.
Look, that doesn't count. Yeah. 15 plus 6.
It hits.
Yeah.
Roll your damage.
It's 1d8. No, 1d10.
1d10.
For firebolt. That's a 1.
1. Nice. The firebolt, as the door swings open, you kind of react and shoot it. It's mostly off and just kind of glances his shoulder. He shrugs, not taking the full blow. Hurt, but not nearly as much as a full blast would have. Jax,
Basically
you're
put
up.
a cigarette out.
There's 2 of them. I guess I'll viciously mock the one. I'll be like, we've already got one of you guys.
Okay, which one?
The one on the right. That one.
Okay,
Just surrender now. Clearly, we're superior.
17 on the die.
You win.
He has a look of
Like 14.
kind of frenzied anger and fear at the same time. Not really, more like I'm trying to survive. We need to get out of here type of a thing. Melsine.
Maybe we can try to.
Actually, no,
one of
I'm
these
sorry.
guys.
I'm sorry. Are you
Can
moving?
I-
Are you moving or?
Oh, me? Where? I would like to step behind Hold. I'd use the phrase meat shield, but it doesn't exactly
So
apply.
you can get to here or
Perf.
here.
Right there.
Check
Wherever I'm not going to get in
Okay,
direct line.
so you are standing at the top of the stairs going down into the hallway. Hold, you are up.
I'm going to attempt to use this limp body as
Nice.
cover.
Yes.
Okay, so you
Good call. Good
pull
call.
you just pick the whole chair up in front of you that he's tied to,
Yep.
I won't
and you're
let
holding
them
it there.
And I will do what I do. I'll move as close as I can.
The one
Well,
with
if
the
you're
other guy?
carrying him, that's going to be half movement. So you would be able to move 15 feet instead of 30,
Totally worth it.
which would get you right there.
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
Right there, right there.
Okay.
And I'll punch him because I don't have enough hands.
chair.
You're just going to
Grapple.
punch him. Roll your attack.
I love those hands.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
Crit!
Nice.
Nice. Roll your damage.
That looks like a 4 for
Looks like a squiggle.
It's a magic symbol. 9 damage.
9
Bludgeoning.
damage.
Goodness.
Right with the chair.
You. Oh! As he takes his hand down, his nose is clearly broken. And it's just pouring out blood. He spits out some teeth, and he just like
Oh, it hurts. So
he
much.
just got Mike Tyson knockout punched. His eyes are swimming.
Good
He's
news.
standing up, but he is there in front of you still. And
Nice.
as
He says, Helm will give you one more chance.
through him, and he tries to
Oh.
attack you.
He stabs the other guy.
And yes, that's exactly what happens. He goes to stab you, and you just kind of pick the chair up, and he plunges his knife into the chest of the other guy.
There goes our information
There
guy.
goes the information.
And the other
There's 2 more guys.
the other one takes another shot. This time at Melsine.
Okay.
She's made of
And that's
water.
a 5.
Yes,
Ah.
As the arrow just flies
Really
by
upset.
errantly. At this point, Vincent and Rygar, I need you to make perception checks. Not Vincent, Eli and Rygar.
14.
It's an ad 1.
You are in the dark. Your head is
Oh my
still
God.
just throbbing.
I'm trying to do simple addition, and it hurts
Exactly.
so much.
Rygar, you hear commotion behind you and turn and see that there's battle going on. I need you to roll initiative.
Yeah, it's a 20.
20? Alright. Vincent, you are up. I'm sorry.
Wait.
Melcine is up.
Yep. I want you to use. I'm at a good angle to pull him into the table, right?
Yep.
Alright, I'm gonna use Thorn Whip and try and pull him into the table.
On this guy here?
Yes.
Or this one here?
No, we'll let that guy alone.
Make him a
Okay,
solid.
roll your attack.
19 plus stuff.
So your seaweed whip goes out and wraps around the front of his arm that he was holding onto the bow. Roll your damage.
6. Nice.
And it jerks him forward, and he stumbles into some chairs and smacks into the table. Kind of tries to stand up as you release his hand, and he didn't like that very much.
Okay.
But he's still up and kicking.
All right.
Vincent.
Can I want to move just back a little bit into that. Yes.
You get behind Floon.
Oh, good.
I didn't know that was Floon in front of me.
It's Floon.
Oh.
Just did what your nature wanted.
Well,
to do.
there you go.
Okay.
It is what it is.
And Vincent, you're up.
The firebolt.
Which one?
The guy by the table.
Okay. Roll. What's roll?
24.
Hits.
That's a 2.
2. This one, again, you don't quite hit him squarely, and it kind of singes past his other shoulder as he's yanked forward and you try to take a shot. Because of his awkward off-balance movement, it just singes kind of the back of his shoulder, hurting him, but not doing that much damage. Rygar, now, as you turn, you see this before you.
Kind of like peer out of the room there, and I'm going to fire at the one on the ground there by the table.
Yeah, so he's not prone, so you don't have to roll disadvantage. You roll your attack.
Ooh,
So
nice.
that is going to be a 23.
Roll your damage.
5.
5, and it sinks into the back of his neck that you kind of tracked him, waited a second, released, and his body just goes limp.
Do I
So many limp bodies.
see him do this at all?
You are swimming in your head
Still,
currently.
got it.
And it is now Jax's turn.
I'm gonna yell to hold, keep him alive. Keep him alive. And I'm going to psychically attack him again.
Psychically attack him.
If you tell us what we want, we'll keep you alive.
I rolled a 10.
Ooh, that hits.
Might kill him.
Dang it. 1.
That's all I had. So as you
I just scared him.
he
No.
I don't want to die. I don't want to die. And the blood starts oozing out of his ears. and starts oozing out of his nose
I'm not
and his
that
eyes. And he's
scary.
like, no.
Oh my.
And his brain melts.
Oh jeez. Okay.
He says, "Did I do that?"
Hold.
So the Vincent, Rygar,
Hey, that was
Jax,
mine.
Hold, and Melcine, you get 2 experience.
Yay.
I want to
And
walk over to the one by the that was by
Hold
the
on.
table. Oh, okay.
I'm jumping back now to Morthos and Solon. I need each of you to roll perception.
You have an aggressive roll. Just. Do you play craps?
11.
So, Morthos, you don't hear anything.
Yep.
Nor do you see anything. It's a pretty dark room. Sola, you hear a voice. What does you mean it ate him? The ooze, the goo, it just ate him, so I run away. Blast it. Grumshar needs a staff, he does. Let me go talk to Zemke. Keep an eye on it.
Boy.
I'm grumpy.
And you start to hear steps coming towards you.
Coming towards me.
Yep.
I quick run and I push Rhaegar and Eli out of the room saying, "Someone's coming, hide!" And I try to stealth.
Leash me.
Well, I knew you were good at stealthing. I kind of drag you along too. Yeah. And then I yell to I quietly go, "Someone's coming, hide, hide!"
Okay. And behind you begin to open.
Oh boy.
What are you doing?
Can I roll stealth? Try to hide right on the corner?
Yeah, roll
Yeah.
stealth.
Hiding. Trying to hide.
Oh yeah, that's cool. 23.
More of those hides here. Sola, what are you doing?
17.
Sola, what is here? What? Okay, Rygar, what are you doing?
I'll stealth and draw my bow.
Roll your stealth.
That is a 16.
16. All right.
18, I'm sorry.
Eli.
I'm gonna go next to Sola.
You could go
Are you
behind
trying to
the
hide?
curtain.
Yeah, hug
Roll
the
stealth.
wall.
Oh, that's true.
Can I pause for a second? The whole thing just stopped. Started fucking froze.
Froze.
Okay.
And we're good. Go back.
That would be a 12. 12.
12. Okay.
Give away my hiding position.
And hold. And Vincent, Jax, Melcine. What are you guys doing?
I'm gonna step behind the curtain on the stairs, just like down to the first step. Do I have to stealth?
It closes in front of you.
Okay.
So as soon as I hear the word hide, that's basically the moment that the guy in front of me is falling to the ground. I take the chair and the person, and I jump into the room
Smart.
and close the door behind me.
Okay. Very
Alright.
good. And Melcine and Vincent. And Floon also follows Jax.
I'm gonna go over to the. Can I get over to that room where they, with the guy tied up at with the chair, where he was originally?
Over here.
Yep, right there.
Roll athletics.
Okay, I'm gonna try it.
Because you're trying to get there quickly before
Yep.
the other guy comes through the room.
Nice. -2.
Oh, thanks. Are you sure it's not acrobatics?
Did you do a front flip with it?
I
What'd you roll?
She actually did somersault.
14, so mine, 12.
12. Alright. You get there, and Vincent?
I'll step down the stairs where Jax is. Yeah.
Okay. And as that happens, the door is kicked open. And you see the same guy who got into the fight with the half-orc in the bar
Oh.
with the eye tattoos around his head. He is there, and he opens his door and he says, "There's something." And he looks down and sees the Durgar's dead body and the dead bandit. And he looks up and sees Melcine with her back to him as she's trying to quickly get into a door. And he says, "Why?" And he goes to draw his bow, as I assume there's sneak attacks coming.
Yes.
So I need a sneak attack from Sola and Morthos and Rygar.
So for
And
sneak
Eli.
attack,
You just roll.
All advantage.
All advantage.
Yep.
This is crazy.
23.
23, roll your damage.
Mine's 19.
19, roll your damage with sneak attack.
Behind the table.
Oh yeah. Should have.
9.
9,
Got disadvantage.
2,
22.
22.
roll your damage.
Oh man, what
Is
a
he
information.
disadvantaged
We're
from
not
the-
very good at
He's
keeping people alive.
We're
Vincent,
real good at
Rygar?
killing people.
Yeah. Okay.
We're the good guys.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, it's a 10.
Oh,
Okay. So he's, "What the?" And he pulls it, and as he pulls it, he gets slashed in the side by Sola. As he reels from the slash, Morthos comes in and stabs him in the other side. He kind of stands there for a second as an arrow just hits him right in the forehead.
Overkill.
And he just kind of slumps off of your blades down into the ground, just sprawled out there, dead.
I know we said it before, but we are not good people.
No. No.
And that is 2 more experience for the 3 of you who made the sneak attacks.
Good job, guys. That should do it.
No.
For me,
What?
I need
Only
2
at
more.
97.
Oh, it didn't do it for me either.
No. Didn't you get
Keep
2
murdering.
before?
This is my first battle.
Well, sucks to be you, huh?
Yeah.
Um,
That's why I'm trying to find people.
Alright, and so now you have several dead bodies there that are sprawled out.
Can I check the guy we just killed?
The one you just killed?
Yep.
Okay. So the one that you just killed, he has
you were good
a scimitar and a light
You're welcome,
crossbow on him
everybody.
with a bunch of bolts.
Is that what you have, a light crossbow?
I have a hand crossbow.
Oh, okay. Whoa. Can you do a
And
light crossbow?
he. Hold on.
No, I have a light crossbow.
Roll your investigation.
Give me that.
18.
18.
Yeah.
And so he has 10 gold on him, more than the other guys, as well as
I don't think more of those shares though.
as well as
Oh, he's going to.
where is it?
There it is. The chokes.
As well as 27 copper and 17 silver.
So 17.
17. Yeah. All right, very good.
I wanted to go, the one that I pulled into the table, I wanted to go check him.
Yeah, go for it. Roll your investigation.
18.
Okay, so he has a dagger on him and a bow,
Okay.
short bow with some arrows.
Okay.
He has 12 copper pieces, 8 silver pieces, and 3 gold pieces.
Okay. I want to take the dagger.
Okay.
I'm going to leave the bow and arrows.
Okay. And I assume as you guys are going through, you're replenishing your arrows and bolts with those that are left
Are
behind.
there any darts?
That's
that
a
we
good
can-
assumption.
You have not found any darts.
I didn't think so. but
Yeah,
that
that's a
makes
more
me mad.
specialized
Or
weapon.
throw it? Not
An
a
arrow?
bolt. Could she throw a bolt?
She could try.
That's an
Are both of those doors now open?
micro.
Yes, they are both
So
open.
can I peer and see if I can see through
I
the
was gonna say I
second door?
probably could though, because it's only bigger.
This one? Or
No,
this
no,
one?
I'm talking about the little room that he barged out of.
This one
Those
here?
two doors, because you said he came through those two doors,
Yeah,
right?
he came through. Oh, here?
He
Is
came
that
through
one
that
open
one.
now?
Yeah, as you look in,
So can I
it
look
is.
to see
He closed it
He
behind
closed
him.
it? Okay.
Yeah. But he was clearly talking to.
Talking to someone,
Well,
right.
that Sola heard. She never told you anything about what she heard. She just
just
said.
said run.
She said someone's coming. Run.
Someone's
Yes.
coming.
Guys, there was somebody else in that room that he was talking to. I didn't hear any signs of distress, so I don't think there's any. Don't worry, I don't think there's any other defenseless people
Oh, good.
in that room.
I was really worried.
He seems pretty
You
defenseless.
should be. We just saw a guy almost getting beaten to death.
Because they're looking for a treasure.
These are just evil people. There is no bound to their evilness.
Should we go after the other room? We still have no one alive to
I mean-
interrogate.
Yes, we should.
Absolutely. He keeps referencing something of Grumshaw's that is of some type of importance.
Did you hear that?
Grumshar.
She didn't explain that to you.
But we knew that when we first.
So that
Oh,
when he
that's
first
right.
went
That's
in,
true.
he
We
said,
knew
"Go
that.
get
That's right.
Grumshar's
That's
stuff."
right. Grumshar staff.
Okay, wait.
We should try to keep someone alive this time.
Do we have anything from Grumshar?
Yeah, we're not so good.
You
at
have
that.
his staff, right? Hold.
Maybe.
I'm in the room with the door closed.
Okay. You have his staff.
Yeah. Guess this is a staff.
Do any
It's
of
my
these,
staff now, though.
Do
Right?
these symbols look familiar at all? The eyes?
Which the one on their
Tattoos.
outfits?
Mm-hmm.
I think we went over that, didn't we?
I say
They-
we go to the other door.
They
Take a
roughly
look.
resemble the symbols that were in the sewers, but beyond
No other
that,
meaning.
yeah.
We should interrogate to see how many other people could be in here.
Now, here's an idea. How about we try threatening before we try beating and stabbing?
I agree.
That's a
They
good
could
plan. That's a
yell.
good plan.
They could.
I talk with my bell.
I get that,
Talk
but
with these.
we seem to have a bit of an issue keeping people alive here.
Well, that's, I don't know.
As long as we make sure that there's no other
Sure.
people being tied
Actively being kidnapped.
Actively
yes.
kidnapped
I start
at
walking
this
towards the other
moment.
door.
Okay, so
Well-
you go in, hold.
I just want to know if I hear the fight over.
I knock on the door.
Well, because I would have been searching in the room for anything.
As you search in the room, the only thing you find, roll investigation. It is pitch black in there, and the door is closed.
3.
And therefore you don't see anything.
I probably lost the door too.
As the door is then opened, Vincent's there and standing there, fine.
Hey, you coming or what?
Sure.
We're fixing to head out of here.
Okay. What was I hiding from?
I don't know. You keep killing things.
Sorry. They won't choose hell.
But you keep
Very
sending
few
them to
people do,
hell. It seems like you're forcing them to choose hell.
Isn't that how it works?
Apparently.
Orthos.
I'm gonna walk right up to the double door. Or the
The
heavier
double door?
Yeah, the heavier door.
Oh no.
That's where we think the guy, I mean, I would have seen him
Yeah,
before. I
yeah,
would have
yeah.
seen Sola run away from there, right?
Yep.
So I'd like to walk up to it
Okay.
and see if I can hear anyone still there.
Roll perception.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hear nothing. 9.
You don't really hear anything.
I turn around and see that I'm all by myself.
I kind of follow Morthus, and people hear me muttering something about corruption and how people are corrupt.
She's insane. Tell you what.
And I'm also gonna go to the door and
I'd like to walk back in.
look for lights or, because I mean I heard the person the first time. I want to see if there is anybody in that room.
I want to untie my rope and just make sure I take it with me.
Got it. I'm following Vinny.
18 plus
Vinny's got my
5.
light.
You hear a light muttering under the breath.
There's someone in here
It's kind of like a humming.
singing. Someone in here singing.
What are they singing? Is it ominous? Is it happy?
Hey, that's
Not
mine. a little of both.
Interesting.
To see what you actually
Should we
think it
try
sounds
to?
I can roll
Okay.
insight. I'm gonna roll insight.
I mean, guys,
like.
stealthily
Roll
try to
insight to
open the
find
door.
out if it's actually
Roll
what
stealth?
you think it sounds like. Could be trying to convey something different. but it's not.
13.
Singing.
As you open it, it starts to creak and you stop. And then you slowly continue to open it and peer in.
WD-40.
Is anyone good at mimicking voices? Are you? Did you hear what this poor gentleman that we just absolutely obliterated the minute he came
He
through the door?
almost killed that orc.
Right. So did you hear what he sounded like?
The little guy with the eyeball tattoos?
You see a goblin kind of standing there, swinging his arms, just kind of
I don't know, I
watching the
think I'm back
door.
there.
There's a crate
Which
pushed
door?
up.
Is his back to me?
There's a crate pushed up against the door. He's standing next to it, just kind of humming to himself, and doesn't seem to hear you as you enter.
Is his back to me?
Let's
He is
keep
kind of
this
is
one
like, it's more
alive.
like the side,
Side.
yeah.
The goblin.
Good call.
Goblin. Keep the goblin alive.
He'll know
Haven't seen any
everything.
goblins.
Can we?
I kind of run back to Rhaegar and say, pass it along, there's a goblin in here.
Who speaks goblin?
Apparently,
Goblins.
there is an enemy ahead, a goblin of some sort.
I like you.
I can speak any language if it's in somebody's mind.
Is there a way to just trick this thing
Whoa.
into submission?
That was
Yeah, hey,
real deep.
we've killed so many of these guys.
Let's just
They're
throw
wearing
the corpses
outfits.
down there.
Why don't you just
walk up
put it
behind someone
on?
and just put a
Oh
sword?
wait, I can do that.
I mean,
They could fight, and then you're gonna have to stab
Well,
them.
I can.
Alright.
His idea.
By this time, have I moved up with them?
You're,
Can
I mean, you guys are all in that room. Are you moving in?
I think Stick Boy's onto something though.
we
We've
can't
killed
hear stick cord.
That's
well
true.
the people in the room. I think people in the room. Stick Boy's onto something. We should.
Who's Stick Boy?
It's a little
The guy with 2 sticks.
The milkman.
Oh.
One stick.
The milkman.
Listen, I'm the nicknamer here. That one didn't make sense to me.
He's got 2 sticks. Maybe
I
you
have
missed
one
it.
stick and it's a staff. It's a staff.
Sure.
I think she's sticking with the 2 sticks.
Makes no sense.
She'll tell you the.
It might
what
be
it means
easier to
later.
get around if we kind of blend in and look less. Let's get shot on sight. Do I look approximately the size of one of these outfits laying on the ground?
You do not. They're all bigger men than you.
Can
There is
I
a dwarven
become a
outfit.
man?
You can. You'd have to take your clothes off and then put those ones on.
Okay.
Okay. So you all
What the hell are you
see.
doing?
You all see Jax's form shift,
You can get banned from Twitch for that.
and she turns from this petite little
Super cute.
super cute bobtail hair lady into a man.
About 6 foot,
What?
scraggly beard,
And your
broad
your
shoulders.
clothes all begin to stretch. And
No, I took them off. They're not gonna rip.
Okay.
I do this all the time.
Okay.
I'm naked. I'm making direct eye contact with Holt as I do so.
How are you, brother?
I do one of those like arm grabby things with him. And I put on the armor of the guy who I fit
Okay.
to.
And so you can go up to
And
the
I pack everything else in
you
my
go up to the
little backpack.
Durgar's armor, the dark dwarf, and kind
Are you
of put
okay?
that on.
No, what the hell just happened?
What the hell just
Morthos, what were you doing?
Seems
This
like a friendly
takes
guy
time.
to
What are
me.
you doing through this?
What do you think we should do?
I think we should.
Oh wait, they don't know I'm a dude now.
So you're trying
I
to go down
hope
and
they
stealth
don't
and
attack
get right
you.
behind
I'm
them.
gonna
Alright.
kind of stealth down as well with
All right,
him.
each of you roll stealth.
I just didn't really think about it.
What
21,
is Jen
22.
to a machine?
There's no
19.
thinking.
You both get up right behind
didn't
him
strike
as
you
he's
as a
just kind of
little
humming away.
I'd like to take my
You take
sword
it.
She
Both of
had
us.
something
and
between
we're
his
gonna
legs.
go opposite sides
I
and
don't
kind of
have
like
that.
whack him on the temples at the same time.
Roll your attack
Wanna
with
knock 'em out, or we
advantage.
just wanna try
Please
to-
refer to me in the thing.
Because
There it is.
yeah, we know everyone's dead.
Roll your attack with
No.
advantage.
With advantage.
So I rolled a 20 unnatural.
24.
Just male
Okay.
guys.
And he just goes down.
Let's try to pick him up and grab
One
onto
more
the others.
experience point for each of you.
Wait, did the goblin die?
No,
No,
he's
No,
not
we knocked
just
him
knocked
out.
out.
Except
So what?
Yeah, he can't
So,
talk.
can I try to pick him up and like, Morthos, come on, let's
Is he
pick him up.
bleeding?
And try to carry him back up the stairs?
Okay, he's little. You can carry him pretty easily.
Drag him back out in the other room with everyone else.
Yeah.
Okay, so there, as you emerge, you see a half-naked man standing there,
she's ours, he's
putting-
ours.
putting in
There.
on like
There's ours.
Durgar
Is he-
armor, and you see Sola and Morthos emerge holding a little goblin.
Oh, we got some
Okay.
guys. But like,
This is
awesome guys. Good work.
This is
this
Jax.
is Jax.
We think.
What did we miss?
She went from Lana Del Rey to Elton John. I don't know what happened.
I guess
I
nothing
like
is
to think
impossible
of it
to
much
the
more
willing
like a-
mind.
Chris Hemsworth. Thank you. I'm broad-shouldered and got a
Not
beard.
even close.
Elton John's got broad shoulders in the beard.
Anyways, we got him.
You got who?
The goblin that was in the room.
Great. How's he gonna talk?
He's only knocked out.
Yeah, so was the other one.
Don't we
No, he
have
died.
healers
No,
here?
he didn't die until he was
yeah.
attacked.
We
And
saved the rest of the
Slap
party.
The oh,
I
fine. Do we have
Need
any?
some sleep,
He's
guys.
he's
My fists still
unconscious,
work.
but
Why
not
don't
not
why
in
doesn't
danger
your
of
healer?
death. Just
Can I?
unconscious.
So I'm gonna walk up
Not
to
in
him.
danger of
Neither
death.
was the
I'm
other
gonna
one.
cast
I feel like I'm
prestidigitation
bleeding from the head.
of like
Kind
a
of time
hot
zones
meal
right
in
at
his
this
face.
He was like me before.
I'm gonna
Wow.
walk up to him, lick my pinky, and stick it in his ear, like real
Please let
deep.
that work.
like real deep, real wet.
Touch and
Wet
burn.
willy.
His eye twitches.
Roll
Your
a
finger comes out his
medicine
eye
check.
socket.
A
I
medicine
like it.
check.
Jax, they all clean their ears, you know.
It's cocked. It's like Shrek.
Yeah.
Still
Same
the
number.
10.
As you pull your finger out, it's coated and covered in wax,
For your beard.
and he's there and kind of
Ew.
stays knocked out.
Well, that was my attempt, guys.
Can we just
I
knock him out and wait
also-
till he comes to?
Yeah, you can tie him up,
Yeah.
and you have one door left to check.
Well, did we check that supply
There's
closet?
also
I would
that
say
closet.
I want to go back and
that
check
we
the
left
supply
that-
closet then.
Well, now I
Going
look
in
like
the
a
last
guard.
Whatever the door is.
That
you're standing in front
that
of.
I
door
look
right
like a
there.
guard now.
No, the one the goblin was standing in front
We'll
of.
pretend
There
like
was
they
that
were
one-
under
There's a
us.
crate in front of it that's
I
in
could
there. Yeah.
be taking these prisoners somewhere.
There
Can I
was
go
that
see if I can
one
move the crate? Is it-
all the
is
way
it
to
for
the
the
right.
big-
So you're going back to that room?
Yeah, I mean, you
yeah,
said the guy's
I-
knocked out, right? You're gonna tie him up and leave him there until he wakes up.
Yeah, yeah.
Malcine,
So you're going
tie
over
him
here.
up.
Yeah.
I'd
Okay.
also like
I
to-
passed him off to Malcine to tie him up.
I tie him up.
I'm just
Okay,
like
so they're
stirring.
tying him up. Rygar's there. Sola.
I'm gonna go to that door that we didn't explore. Nope, nope, nope. In the
You
little
must go
room?
to that
Yes,
one, yeah.
that one.
Okay. Okay. Sola, roll perception.
There's also that guy we left in the room last time.
16.
You don't hear anything or see any traps anywhere.
Okay, I'm gonna attempt to open the door.
Open the door.
Fireball.
Right.
And hold on.
Here's the room we've been looking for.
Old star.
The whole time.
And this room is unlit, but you do see through your dark vision, a worn but very nice rug on the floor. There's a bookshelf with several tomes of books kind of lined up. You see a kind of a little chest that's just sitting on top of a table, and a bed with
I'm
some
gonna-
nice pillows on it.
Gonna peer out through the door
I wanna
and call
rest.
Vincent. There are some nice books you might be interested in.
Ooh, books. That's
and
for
then
me.
come in the room
Nerd.
and look for traps for the chest.
Sage your
You're going in there?
Yeah.
All right. So roll
Unless you find
perception.
something really cool, let me know.
If it makes me stronger, I want it.
If it's about life and death, I'd like it.
7.
You don't see any traps, but you do see that the chest is locked.
I'm gonna walk back out and go to the other and go, Morthos, we need your chest picking skills. And
So Morthos is in the middle of trying to rustle a crate out from in front of a door as he hears this.
What do you need?
There's a chest in here with a lock.
Oh, you said it.
I'm coming.
Coming.
I'll be in as well.
Okay.
I will go follow her and
So you all make your way in there, and in
I will
front of you is
attempt
a chest.
pick the lock.
Go for it.
I didn't see any traps, but I don't know. Ooh.
18.
You get in. 1 tumbler, 2 tumblers, 3 tumblers. This is an ornate lock. You get to the 4th one. Nope, can't get it.
This
Hold
one's
tries the key that he has.
So Hold walks up, takes his key, and puts it in.
Oh,
Opens it.
I take everything in and hide it from him.
That's not very hold-like of you.
I know.
So
Just kidding.
what do we see in there?
I need to play a rogue one time.
So as you all walk in, Vincent walks in with his staff and turns the light, with lights everything up because it's darkness.
Which stick is he illuminating?
The only one I have. Ever.
On the bookshelf,
His light. His
on the
stick.
bookshelf, you see
Like his stick.
4 books that catch your eye. The first is known as the Arcane Weave, and the second is called Mystra's Secrets. Vincent, you would know that these are beginner wizard books. You also see a book titled A Song of Rest.
Mine!
It's
Nice
a book
songs.
by Seamus Splendid Song.
I know that guy. He's so dreamy.
I
And
do
the
think Jack
the
should have that book.
4th book is
We're not in
called The
Oh,
Ranger's
man.
Redoubt. And
You're
it's
still
a
in
book
awe
by
of this
Drist
perfect
Duerden.
physique.
Have we all heard of Drist?
You can roll history.
I've only been alive for 2 years. So I have no
You're
idea.
I've been secluded
Someone
my
could
life,
have told
so-
you.
Yeah. So those are the 4 books that you find. As you page through the Song of Rest, you find that it's a book about how to soothe wounds through the power of song.
I'll take it.
La 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 la.
You're healed.
And the Ranger book has some Ranger spells and other useful information with regard to surviving in the wilds.
I thought this was
And as you open up the chest, at the very top of the chest, you find a letter.
Hungarianly yours? Cool.
Probably loving it.
Hungrily.
Respect.
And you also find a pouch with 250 copper pieces, 182 silver pieces, 57 gold pieces,
Man.
6 platinum pieces,
Oh.
and 4 small rubies.
Good thing I checked this room.
There's also next to the chest a pile of
Too fast.
paper and inks.
Blank.
Ooh, I'll take
Blank paper and inks.
Can you repeat the
250
Cash.
copper.
250 copper,
That was all I got.
182 silver,
Yeah.
57 gold, 6 platinum, and 4 small rubies.
I'll split that at the end of the day.
Okay.
And then you guys see holding a letter like this.
Can you read?
Yeah.
Don't insult the man. thing.
Upside down.
What's it say?
Wait, are they just doing this in the little room away from everybody?
They're
I
all
called
in here.
people.
Just the four of us.
Yeah.
You're all,
Good
you guys
morning,
are,
Pat.
You guys are all in there.
Or is it evening?
I thought he said
No matter.
husband.
He's reading a letter.
It seems the traitorous Zent have kidnapped a delicious morsel who could help us. Persuade the Zent to give him to you. Scratch up. Murder every one of their lying asses, and then bring Rainier Neverember to me.
Rainier.
He is well dressed
Prince?
with orange blonde hair. Keep him alive for now.
That's what they thought Flynn
So
was.
they thought Flynn.
Hungrily yours.
That's what Rainier told us.
A 10-edged circle sun kind of thing.
Spoke.
Interesting.
The symbol that you've seen throughout.
Okay.
P.S. I've been told Yavo escaped. Lucky bastard. If you see him, tell my pet to report back to me. I have a job for him in Nightstone. We're still looking into the attack, but it was clearly someone
Who's the
Hoff.
guy that escaped?
I should very much like to meet them one day.
And did you say Nightstone?
Correct. Multiple times, I
And a
think.
pet? Yeah, I know. You echoed. There's a pet going to Nightstone.
No, he called. He addressed a letter. Good morning, pet.
Yes, the pet is going to Nightstone
Okay.
at the will of Star Person.
This person might be in danger. We should get to Nightstone soon, in case the same thing happens that happened to Floon happens to Yavo.
You need to slow your roll.
Yeah.
No, we need to go
You
now.
need to slow your roll.
You would know that Yavo is an assassin,
Correct.
and you would have no desire to save him.
Never mind.
You need to understand that they aren't actively kidnapping people. They're looking for a treasure that they thought this was Rainier. And Rainier
Yavo
can
was
help
the
them.
Goliath that was being hanged.
You know,
back.
the one that
That's the
he,
beginning.
this, it.
I don't
knows.
think I heard the name. It's just Jax.
Improper pronoun.
It was
What's a
Triangle.
pronoun?
it was pronounced aloud
Oh,
in
okay.
the market.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yavo the Cruel.
Who do you think this pet is?
It's probably a nickname, just like that one there, the 10-sided star or sun.
So, is Nightstone a place?
Yes.
Yes.
And it's about
Bless you.
About 3-4 days
Helm
travel.
bless.
3 to 4 days travel from here. I do want to go there, but we need, we need to
We
slow
have
down a
things
little
to
bit.
do first.
Here, put this in your collection.
Namely,
Thank you.
hey, Floon,
Yeah.
we need to get you back to the yawning portal.
I would
Bless you.
very much like that.
We've got to get you back to Volo.
I would very much like that.
Is there anything else we haven't seen in here before we leave?
I mean, the big
Still one
room
more
with
guy
the
alive.
statue,
More those
and
wants
we
to kill
haven't
that guy.
gone
Someone-
upstairs in that little closet with
Right.
the little gremlin.
There was
Someone's
that little
reading a book.
gremlin in
I'm
there.
And now
I
I'm dressed
just-
like I belong here. I might as well try to use this.
Do you,
won't have a
do you know the
password.
password?
Hey, Flume, you hear anybody talk about a password around here?
No,
Think.
I was unconscious when they brought me here.
I mean, you were here for how long? A day? 2?
I have no idea. I've been tortured while I was here.
That sucks. How about I go in, the goblin guy, recognize that I'm wearing armor.
Goblin guy's on the floor right there.
Not you, goblin guy, other goblin guy. And then I little closet.
So
Rhaegar
Yeah.
stands behind me and shoots him.
you want to
No.
go to the room that they barred from the inside.
I do not think that is a good
Everyone
idea.
gets
Oh,
a
yeah.
17
That's right, they
gold.
barred from the inside.
Something tells me these guys, these bad guys, didn't want whatever's on that side getting in here. If these bad guys are scared of what's over there, maybe we shouldn't go there.
Well, I still want to see Cyclops Zucchini Man.
Okay.
I do think we should get Floon to safety.
I would very much like that.
He's badly hurt.
I thought
He was healed.
Oh, he was healed.
Very
Yeah,
badly
it's not a
burned.
potion that I kind of need right now.
Sorry, buddy. I can't help you.
That's okay.
What was
Not
the
until
potion
we
I
level
I'll
up.
hold out.
Alright, what are we doing?
Well,
Let's head
The
out
one
with these
from the
Minor
silver
healing?
lights.
Zucchini
Oh.
Man, we should investigate the
Yes,
statue.
but here's the thing. The thing that took me down to like 0 intelligence,
Oh, that's right,
was
it's in
in
the
there.
room.
so I'm not going in there.
Can't Milkman though just take him out?
Hey, Milkman, how do you feel about casting spells?
I'm kind of low on my spells.
Kind of low on spells. I don't think we should go in there.
Alright.
mission accomplished then?
I feel pretty confident that there aren't any more kidnapped people in here.
Nor.
I feel
I
pretty.
changed into a
active.
dude for
Yeah,
nothing.
well, that's good to know that you can do that.
Of course, I'm a changeling. That's what I do. I have zero shame in who I am.
I wasn't
This
trying
is
to.
me.
Wasn't trying to shame you. I never met a changeling before.
Oh.
It just took
Yeah,
me off
we
guard.
don't come around a lot.
No, you don't. I really don't care who you are. I can see how useful that can be, though.
Well, thanks. That means a lot to me.
Yeah. Here, have a drink. Thank you.
I'm a man now. I take twice as much to get drunk.
I'm not trying to get you drunk. It's just a little nipper, you know.
All right. So what are you guys doing? You heading
I
out?
see what you're into.
Whatever you like, bro.
Okay. So your whole party kind of makes their way back out.
7 feet
Wait,
too tall.
wait. Do you want to go out the back entrance or the front?
I kind
How
of
about
like that.
Go out the
Yeah.
back and we can
We
go
don't
be
really
that
know
guy.
about the back entrance.
We don't.
Yeah, I was
Let's
gonna
just
say
go the
front.
way we
Hey
came.
guys,
We're gonna
there's
go
a
back.
back infinite. We can go out.
I have an
What
idea. Let's
about-
split the party again.
What,
Good.
But we don't know where that's going.
what
Let's
about that
go with
shadow
them.
we saw?
What shadow?
Maybe only I saw it. The guy with the staff was being spoken to by something dark.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, and then he
I
disappeared.
don't want it to get away.
But what are you talking about?
Rygar saw nothing in the room it fled into, except the brain.
Wait,
If it's in that
Was
room,
there something else
we
in that
must
room?
go after it. That little room where
Time out.
Floon was.
no. You kicked in a door because our goal was to get Flume.
Correct.
We now have Flume.
Correct.
How did you just change your goal now? Wouldn't the goal be to
Because
mission
Helen-
accomplished?
But we do need to
Open.
still say Floon. Go ahead.
Okay.
But I want to destroy that thing.
You want to destroy what?
We don't know where it is, though.
It was dark.
It can hurt other
It was
people.
a shadow.
Well,
And
I have a shadow too. You could just follow it all the way back to the tavern. I really just rethought this entire thing, and I want my gold.
So, here's what we're gonna do.
Fair.
We're gonna take
Okay.
a 5-minute break while you guys figure out what you're doing, and then we're gonna come back. All right? So 5-minute break. They're
Mom, can
gonna
I have a
figure
piece
out
of
what
your
they're doing, and then we're gonna
Right.
execute as we return.
She said she needs it.
Why do you need the keys to my car?
It's a secret.
Okay, so
All right, and we are back. Thank you for sticking with us through the break. I know that that's a pain in the rear end, but we need to do it for everyone's ability to refresh. And now we will continue right where we left off. What are you guys doing?
Back to the yawning portal.
Yep.
The way we came.
All right, so you make your way out here.
Are we just going to leave the goblin on the floor, Tyler?
Yeah. Oh
I
no,
would
I
bring
want my
him with
rope.
us.
Uh,
Can you just stab him?
They're not really well received in the upper levels.
But we need information from him.
I mean, I do not care.
What
Okay, we just
information?
leave him here.
I just walk over
Do you
and
speak
untie my rope
goblin?
and
Didn't you
put
say
it
he
in my
was dancing and
explorer's
singing?
backpack.
Just let him
He
be.
was humming.
How about we just kill him?
Whoa.
No, we
No,
killed enough
no.
today.
What
No.
if his name
He's
is Tommy?
defenseless.
But
Let's just
he-
go.
But what if he knows us?
He
can
doesn't.
recognize us.
He did not see
He
You
didn't
changed
see us.
from a woman to a man. How could he know who
But
you are?
y'all didn't.
He didn't see who we were, but they'll know that there
Still
have been
the same person.
I
there's
think
blood all
it's
around
just
the room.
time to.
Yeah,
So
I
they
think
already know
they're
there's
gonna
somebody in there.
we've left plenty of evidence. Let's
I
just beat
think
it.
let's
Drum shards
just go.
exploded.
All right, you make your way out. You do see another ladder leading up here to the surface.
So we could have. Oh, we could have came around the whole thing.
Well,
I mean, it's outside of the base, right here.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, it's not that.
Yeah, let's go
far.
up.
Son of a gun.
I'll go.
Big fight.
Somebody should go up first and just peek their little heads. Not me
I
though.
will go.
I never
I will
go
go.
first.
I'll sneak up and peer my head out.
Okay, you do. It's a manhole cover that leads right into a street in the dockboard.
Alright. We're not
All
down.
clear. Let's go.
Wait, you rolled?
No, he said it's all
Oh.
clear.
He said it was all clear.
Alright. Where are we?
We're in the dock room.
Hey, this is Stick Boy's town. He
Are we
knows.
on Candle Lane?
Well,
Yeah, where are we?
You are not on Candle Lane. You are simply in a street in the dockboard. The rain has stopped. It's no longer raining. It is in the middle of the night, about 3 a.m. And you.
Do we see any movement or activity?
No, it's pretty dark. Everyone, especially at this time of night, is staying indoors unless they're shuffling home from a bar or something like that, or probably doing something nefarious.
We need to go that way, guys. And I just point in a random direction.
She points at the ocean.
no.
What you're
That's not the
talking
way.
about.
Milkman, where are we?
Hmm.
I pull out my map too.
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
Where'd you get that?
I
He took
found
over
it
it.
Yeah.
in a book.
It looks like we're about here.
So he points on the map, and
I hope it's the Google Maps, not the Apple one.
Yeah. I'm using Waze.
Traffic
I was gonna say, can I tell us?
There's
if
a bar
there's
fight between 12th and.
We gotta go down this alley so we can get around.
Will it alert us of watchmen?
and so you guys basically pop out on the street over here. You have this map, and you know that the awning portal is about here.
Okay.
So
We should probably split up into 2 groups so we're not too conspicuous. Not too far apart. But 9 people walking together. We look like an army.
That's how we were coming
Well,
down.
especially because I'm wearing
Right,
chainmail.
Yeah. Are you gonna change back or?
Yeah, they're
No
gonna think
one
you're
will
part of the
mess with
guild.
us.
How do you,
Sure. And I take off all my armor and I switch back to a girl and I put on all my. I'm gonna keep the galoshes on because it's still rainy and I don't wanna.
the roads are wet.
Yeah,
the
so
rain isn't
I'm gonna
coming
go back
down
to my
any longer.
galosh outfit and I'm just gonna pack the armor away in my
So
backpack.
Jax
Your waiters.
gives you another peep show,
Public
and
nudity
then,
is not a
and then
crime.
I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna take
Vincent
a little to get used
Vincent
to.
is just like staring at you.
That's not how I stare.
You always stare at
You,
me.
you do realize you just gave him everything
What's there?
twice.
And
But like one was a dude.
Didn't want half of it.
Didn't want it.
and you guys
Only half
make
is
your way
worth the
back
money.
to the yawning portal.
Oh, that was easy.
And at this hour of the night, the patronage has died down quite a bit.
When's the last call?
Though
I need
there,
a
there are
drink.
still about 20 people or so on the lower level drinking, chatting. The tables on the upper levels and kind of the balconies, they're all cleared and no more food is being served. Durnan is behind the bar as always, while an exhausted Rainier sits at a table just peering at the door with Volothamp Gdarm by his side, downing an ale as the two wait. As soon as the first of you enters, and the second, and then the third, they stand with hopeful, wide-eyed expressions as you enter.
Don't worry, guys. Justice has been served. And I kind of bring Floon in.
Okay, Batman.
Eli, you want to go grab a drink?
Yeah.
I'm already at the
Let's
bar.
grab both those.
I didn't join this.
Go tall, dark, and scary.
Shouldn't you all go to bed?
As you begin to walk towards the bar, Valo says, my friends, sit down. I already have a drink for you all. And
That's where I'm
he does have
going.
a tray of drinks there waiting for you,
Good man, Valo.
as you enter in. And they're at a large table, large enough for all of you to sit and to talk. And he gets up and he goes and embraces Floon and gives him a kiss on both cheeks and in a very friendly manner. And they kind of embrace. Rainier comes along and puts his shoulder as well on the back of kind of Floon's neck and then just hugs the both of them. And it's just kind of a very tender moment as they all are reunited. And they all sit down and look at you with just
A little tear.
with
I wipe
gratitude and thankfulness beaming from their faces at you all.
Okay. Well,
We are so glad that we could help you in your time of need. And very thankful that you chose us to do your mission.
Bolo, I'll take my money. There's a cute dress that I've got my eye on.
Divani, yes, of course. I
What?
well, I must confess, it was a long shot for you to find my friend, and I took a chance on you because you saved my life, Bellissima. But I have only a few coins to spare, and these are drinks, huh? Drink up. But never let it be said that the Volothamp Gdarm reneges on a promise, huh? Allow me to present something of a much greater value to you.
okay.
Your friendship?
He holds out a scroll tube. Eli takes it. This is a deed to a bellissima home here in Waterdeep.
Okay.
In the North Ward. Will I need a magistrate to witness the transfer of ownership to you? I will transfer it to you. It is worth far more than gold.
But I
I'll
wanted
be
a
happy
dress.
to arrange a meeting after you have inspected the estate and deemed it satisfactory, of course. And Rainier stands up and says, I have seen it. It's perhaps a fixer-upper, but in lovely setting.
Is there shiplap everywhere?
Subway tile.
I want a farmhouse sink.
I want open concept.
I'll let you determine that with Valo. And he sits down, drinks.
North Ward's the nicer area, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Up here?
Yeah. I'm trying to remember from your description. All right. Well, it's not in a bad area.
What do you think? Where's your house?
I don't have a house. I live in a tower.
Oh.
That's like Rapunzel.
No, like Master Yen Sid.
I don't know who that is.
It's from Kingdom Hearts.
It's actually from Disney, just like in general.
I only know it from.
Okay.
Anyways.
So
Vincent, you were saying?
No, like, every wizard ever.
every wizard ever.
I believe you mentioned it was in SeaWorld, right?
Correct. Namegate Tower is
Name gate. That's
Its
right.
name?
Master name
Are there beds there already?
in this house you gave us.
Guy, it's 3 a.m. Volo,
right. We're in an inn. I think they can.
can't you
Let
just
us
get us
stay.
1, 2, maybe 3 rooms for tonight?
4 rooms.
The north wing is too far for us.
Time out.
We just got what?
Don't some of our guys have free stays at the other bar?
Only we took it.
As you're talking to this, Valo glances back to Durnan. And Durnan's there cleaning out a mug, kind of getting things in order for the evening, and he looks up at you guys, listening to the whole conversation. And he looks at you and he says, Baga.
Big D, what's up?
My mates, they've already got your rooms. Got 2 rooms, free of charge, especially for helping with the fight earlier. But, dear God, go wash in a
Oh, I
bathhouse.
smell like poop.
You
still.
smell like.
I was wearing galoshes.
Yeah, it's my bad.
There's one out back.
Okay.
Alrighty, well, it'll be the ladies and the big metal guy and all the dudes. It's a good way to break the rooms up.
Huh.
Where do I go?
Whatever.
You're the metal dude.
You're outside.
Oh, I don't sleep.
You're with us, the
Don't
ladies.
sleep either.
I don't sleep.
You.
I could use somewhere
Meditate
to
half the
meditate.
time.
Well, I do, so I'm
Time
gonna
out. You don't
Did
sleep. and
sprint
you
right
Did
upstairs.
Rainier know for
Meditate.
sure
Yeah.
I
that
don't sleep.
they took Floon thinking it was Rainier?
I'm 100% aware. While
That's
Okay.
I
that's what
recharge.
he heard them talking about.
Oh, okay.
Are you,
And the letter says.
I didn't know if that's just
Rainier,
what he
are you going
suspected.
to be able to get somewhere safe where they're not going to target you again? Perhaps leaving
I
Waterdeep?
have powerful friends that I will go to, and
Like us,
well, we'll see what your power attains to.
but we're friends.
I can feel power growing inside of me. All I need to do is go to sleep.
It's kind of a creepy sentence.
I will leave that one alone. I
He birds out a
think I'll be
monster.
okay. My friends can protect me.
All right.
But I
Ready
will
first.
certainly seek you out if I need help
Please
in the
do.
future, and
Here.
I will perhaps find you in your new estate.
I walk out back to get rinsed off with a hose.
So he has like essentially a bathhouse. The water is not warmed at this time of night, so it's cold, but it's enough for you to all wash up.
Okay.
And you do so. Vincent decides to just prestidigitate himself, which he knows you could have done, but he kind of liked
No,
the smell
Jay.
a little bit.
No, Jay.
And
You just look down right away like.
and so you all go to your rooms, and you turn in for the night.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank goodness.
I wanna before I go to bed, I wanna write in my journal.
Okay, you can absolutely write in your journal.
All of you
Dear diary,
All
today
right.
was an iffy day.
All of you
Is
get
there a lock on it?
You all get 17
My
gold.
friend Big D.
Yeah,
17 gold from that treasure chest, and I've got 4 rubies that I'll sell and later.
Huh?
Writing in it?
I don't know.
Do I take notice to him?
No, it's one of those like voice
I do
activated
prick
my
my
secret
finger and dip a
journal.
quill in my blood when I'm writing.
Oh.
Yeah,
Did we ever check
and do
out
I
that
notice
paper
that
by
it
the
was
treasure chest?
Hold on, guys.
familiar
Yeah.
book?
Hold on.
Do I notice that it was a
Oh, he
familiar
grabbed it.
book that I?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
I also picked up 8 gold, 17 silver, and 37 copper.
That you're sharing with us?
I'm going to, but I don't know how to do that math yet. So
It's a
we'll,
gold apiece.
well, that part, yeah, but I mean, unless you want me to keep the copper and silver, and everyone
Yeah.
gets another gold.
I think that's what
I
That
would
can
make out
be
like you guys
used
did.
for, as long as it's used for the poor.
It could
We are the poor.
be. We
So
are
how much did you give us? I'm
So-
sorry.
17, and I give
17.
everyone another gold as well.
I
So
gave everyone
18.
gold as well, because I felt bad because I saw
19.
you guys giving them out.
You gave. So what about?
And I just
Thank you.
glare at
You
more
guys
of
know.
those
I know.
because I know how much gold he
There's
has.
there's only one person who knows.
I only got 10 gold from this dungeon.
And I'm just glaring at you.
And you got 3 copper and 2 silvers each. Big spender.
Big spender.
All right. Unless you guys are having any conversations amongst yourselves,
Well, nope. But for the.
you're writing.
And I just take notice
I-
to it.
You take notice.
That's all.
I want to ask Vincent.
You're in a different room.
Are we still
Well, not
talking?
yet.
You
or-
can have a. You
Okay.
can on your way to the room. Talk.
Okay. I show him my necklace
Mhm.
and ask him if he knows any. Do you know? I have this necklace and I don't know the power that it has, and I was wondering if you might know anything about it.
Where'd you get it from?
From my mentor.
Which is. Okay, so I look at it. What does it look like?
It's blue.
It's a vibrant blue gem that has gold inlay around it. That has kind of like a D8 type cut to it. And it's just it sits on her neck on a gold chain, and there seems to be a bit of a very subtle movement as you just peer and stare into the depth of the gem. You can roll Arcana.
That's a 19.
So there's definitely something to this, but apart from taking the time to identify it, you don't know. You can't really tell more than that. It's special. There's a magical property, but what it is, what it does, it's very subtle and mysterious.
Okay.
And I quickly tuck it back under my cloak.
Okay. Yep. Absolutely. Any other conversations between you guys?
Vincent, how about those books you uncovered in the dungeon? Anything of value?
Oh yes. I think some of these are valuable to some of you. Worthless to others. Like
You find anything on life and death?
Maybe you could flip through this one, Arcane Weave, but I don't think you'll gain much from it.
All right.
Okay, so you have your Arcane Weave.
I'm gonna give you Song of Rest.
Anything for survival?
Are you a ranger?
That I am.
Ranger's Redoubt?
Sounds about right.
There you go.
Okay. So as you look at that, Jax, you see that this book talks about how to enhance healing while people take rests.
Yay!
And you see that, like I said, there are some spells in here and things to really enhance your ability to track creatures, and there's just all a plethora of. It'll take you a while to kind of go through this and really absorb everything that's in it.
As I see the books handed off, I just say, a little bit of knowledge is a dangerous thing, but it is also power. Use this wisely.
I think 7 is the optimal group size. Just kidding.
You were voted off the island.
That's perfect.
Okay.
Anything
Well,
of
I
value
just kind
in
of
the
just
book
stare at you like.
for me?
No.
No.
Are you staying up to read it? What are you doing?
Well, I wrote, and I'd probably read until I fall asleep.
You glance through it, and there's a lot of stuff on the nature of magic and the weave of magic. That there are different types of magic, different schools of magic.
And that puts you to sleep.
And it's about that point that you fall asleep. There's certainly much more to read.
Another day.
4 hours of reading for me then?
Yeah, 4 hours of reading and 4 hours of sleeping. Yeah.
There you go.
Anyone else doing anything before you sleep?
Once I see him fall asleep to the book, I'm gonna flip through it, and I'm also gonna check the staff, see if it's familiar to me.
Yep.
If I've
So the staff with the griffin skull doesn't have any magical properties to it beyond kind of being an arcane focus. Hold never shared with you any of the other stuff that he found, so you don't quite the book that the wizard had on him.
Oh yeah.
And
It's in my bag. I don't know. I'll find it later.
and otherwise, yeah, it's pretty standard fare that you move forward with.
Okay.
You do note that the parchment and inks is the same type of parchment and inks that Nain uses to record spells in his wizard book.
Oh.
And so, for purposes of there's $100 worth, so that would be good for recording 2 spells into your wizard book. Once you find some spells to record.
Yeah, that's weird.
All right. So, as sleep takes you all.
Get stronger.
Yes. You all are taking. You all level up to level 2. Yay!
Yay!
But before we do that, Melsine.
Ooh, you're gonna have a dream.
I knew it.
Oh, it's my home. A seagull? New Jersey is your home?
That's where he's from.
Southern Jersey.
All right, Melsine.
Watch the tram car, please.
As sleep takes you, you find yourself standing on the shores of a vast turquoise sea. The fine whitewashed sand sticks between your webbed toes as you stand there taking it all in. The sky is a spotless cobalt blue, with seagulls flitting about as a light purple mist saunters across the waters. You see an albatross dive into the waves, scooping up several fish. A giant sea turtle slowly wades into the surf next to you. As further out in the waves, the fins of several other sea creatures can be seen cutting through the tide. As you hear the rustle of foliage behind you, you turn to find a vast jungle forest that stretches as far as you can see. You immediately see several tiny fey creatures hiding behind various tree trunks. Small blue fairies with incandescent wings and light blue scaly skin stare back at you with a smile. Their large emerald-colored eyes framing their faces as you turn to them. The fairies flutter and twirl around you for a moment and then streak over to the sea, diving in and out of the water and up into the air in dazzling acrobatic aerial maneuvers. The joy and peace of this place is breathtaking. As you stand there, you're overtaken with an inescapable desire to wade into the water for yourself. As you move into the surf, the waves gently lap against your skin as you edge deeper into the water. Your body, which is perfectly acclimated to swimming in the ocean, feels at one with the sea. As you swim about in the azure waters, several of the sea creatures swim up next to you. You reach out and pet them: turtles, water snakes, fish, stingray, giant crabs, sea lions. Even a fey crocodile joins the fun in swimming alongside you. As you break the waves, the birds of the air swoop down and dive into the water next to you, and in a moment you're surrounded by all manner of sea creatures. In the midst of this aquarium-like maelstrom, the water around you begins to glow as the fey creatures all hold out their arms as they swim around you. And all at once, the sea creatures that were swimming near you begin to push up next to you, their bodies brushing against yours. As you swim, the creatures continue to press closer, and in an instant, the various forms of the sea creatures begin to press into your form, melding into your greenish-blue skin and becoming one with you. As the glow from the fairies brightens, the essence of the myriad creatures is absorbed into your frame, and as you continue to swim, you feel the urge to take on the form of the animals that have fused with you. In a flash, your shape morphs first into a turtle, then a giant crab, then a reef shark and a water snake. You think with practice you could take on additional forms. And as you make your way back to the shore, you look back over the waves and the fairies remain in the water. As you watch their own individual forms seemingly merge together and take on the shape of a watery, incandescent man. The features are vague, but he has a kind smile as he waves to you and then disappears beneath the waves as you wake up.
Sounds like a good
Someone's
dream.
got daddy issues.
Interesting.
Why are you rolling?
Why not?
Well, time. You got the whole
Sola.
whole thing.
Ooh, twofer.
I'm gonna go get my cheese stick.
Sola, as
Crack this.
you meditate, slipping in and out of consciousness,
We're gonna have another dream.
You find yourself naked and alone, standing in a pool of shallow liquid with darkness surrounding you. You call out and hear nothing but the echoes of your lonely voice reverberating in the murky blackness. Suddenly, the silhouettes of shapes come into view in the distance. First a mountain, then trees in a clearing, and buildings surrounding a town square. As the shapes are propelled toward you in an instant, you find yourself standing still in the town square. You call out, but no voice can be heard. Darkness continues to cover the place, but you now see faint wisps of light slowly moving around the villages in the visages of men, women, and children. They're calmly going about their business around the mountain village, peacefully meandering through their day. In an instant, a flash of blinding light fills the space as a smoldering geyser of flame erupts into the midst of the village. The silhouetted buildings catch fire as a giant, shadowy beast in the form of a dragon alights next to you. Seemingly paying you no heed, the beast begins to slaughter villagers and destroy the once peaceful town. Unable to do anything but stand there and watch in horror, your screams freeze in your throat as you watch chaos unfold around you. And as quickly as the massacre began, it is all over. The shadowy figure swooping away into the pitch blackness. As you fall to your knees, overwhelmed with grief and sorrow, you see that the shallow liquid you've been standing within is a stark crimson pool of blood. As you reach down, the viscous fluid runs over your fingers as you recoil in horror at the sight of the blood on your own hands. Your emotion overtaking you as you weep, you glance up to see the fallen, shadowed figures of the townsfolk, their broken and charred forms barely visible in the darkness. And then, the glimmer of light that was within them once again catches your eye. Faint at first, a small speck of pure white light emerges from the heart of each person, rising up into the air. The motes of light slowly begin to float towards you, growing brighter and brighter as they come together. You stand up as they approach, bathing you in brilliant light, overshining the images of destruction left in their wake. Their glow strengthens, beaming with the intensity of the sun as the light becomes blindingly brilliant. All at once, the particles of light rush towards you, alighting as a flame on your head, and then seeping into every orifice of your body. You feel the rush of pure energy pulse through your frame as the radiant light shines forth from every measure of your toned physique. And as your eyes adjust to the light emanating from within, your formerly brownish blonde hair radiates with golden yellow light. As you turn where once there was darkness, you now see clearly. Destruction remains, but you see a path through it all. And higher up the mountain, you see the shadowy dragon-like figure peering down at you with a bemused smile emerging across its visage. It slowly spreads its wings and with a powerful thrust disappears into the darkness. And with a start, you return to consciousness.
Jeez. You're a sick bastard.
I'm just kind of, there's sweat beating down my head, just breathing heavily. Oh, not again. Steadying my breath.
Melsine, you hear this.
Are you okay?
One day I will be. Right now it's just all too soon.
What's all too soon?
Destruction, death. I couldn't save them.
Who needs help?
He's in the room. Yeah.
I'm awake.
They're-
I've been awake for 2 hours.
They're just all dead. There's no saving them. Vengeance. One day when I'm strong enough, I will come back and
Who's
avenge
dead?
them. My people, I was supposed to. I was entrusted to them, and I failed them. I failed them all. I start crying and weeping.
Why is everybody yelling?
She's got like the blinders on. Takes out earplugs.
Is it daytime already?
The crest of the sunlight is beginning to peer through the window. It's about 6 a.m.
Well, I'm up now, so what's up with her?
He destroyed him.
I think she had a nightmare.
It's not a. It's real.
Let me
It's real.
play you a song. God is bigger than the boogeyman. Is bigger than the monster.
I also had a dream. I dreamt of my home near the sea, which I haven't seen in a very long time. This.
It feels like your home,
Okay.
but bigger.
Okay.
It felt very natural, like you belonged there, but it was also foreign at the
Okay.
same time.
There's a path through destruction. I'll make it through.
Who were you supposed to protect?
My mountain. I was entrusted to them. Where was your home?
I come from a place called Felnor Harbor. It's a long way from here.
I'm sorry you also had to leave your home. I understand the hurt of it.
I've never stayed in one place for too long since then.
Why?
I relate to that one.
Why not?
You know, sometimes things just happen.
Always
PG.
watching over my shoulder.
You know, sometimes home is great, and then sometimes it gets burned down and you have to leave.
Was your home burned down?
I'm just saying it's a possibility.
My home was also burned down.
Yeah.
Sucks.
And good morning.
But yeah. So breakfast, right?
He is why to live, can bear almost anyhow.
That made no sense. I want like
It's
pancakes.
too early for that.
That's.
Are you all right now?
I take solace knowing that there is a path.
Who caused the destruction?
By the way,
Right.
as you are talking to Sola,
Uh-huh.
and she sits up and kind of steadies herself,
Wipes away tears.
you all notice that her hair is glowing a brilliant golden color,
Oh.
unlike had been previously.
Oh well.
Your hair.
What do you mean my hair?
You got some serious bedhead.
Glowing.
I kind of look at it, kind of like one of these things. What is this?
This has never happened before?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay then.
Does it hurt?
Does it hurt?
No, but
I grab a glass of water that was on the bedstand and pour it out.
You're definitely awake now.
It doesn't come out. Sorry.
Your hair does not come out.
this must be related to my dream.
It'll grow on you.
It must be related to my dream.
Gotcha.
Who attacked your mountain?
I know.
Oru. A giant Oru.
Like the pasta?
I think loosely translated in your language, it might mean dragon. Great dragon.
Twice in 2
Order.
days. Dragons.
They're the evilest.
And who?
Corrupt and destroy
I don't know.
everything.
Humans might be right on their tail.
Humans at least have a conscience.
Only when it suits them. So pancakes. I'm feeling blueberry.
Is there a mirror in here that I can kind of inspect the hair?
Yep.
Do you have
Can I roll? Is there like an
describing what's
insider
on the
perception
inside?
check next to one?
I don't know what you're talking about.
For what? What are you trying to?
Jax is in the
See,
open
like, what
freaking
it's
book.
like.
Yeah,
This makes you
sure.
uncomfortable. I will get you
17
banana
plus 5.
pancakes.
It
Just looks like hair.
has the same glow as it had in your dream.
In my dream? Okay.
Does it like cast a light, or is it just like a dull radiance?
Dull radiance.
Okay. So I can't use her for
Not
dim
like
light.
super
It will. I mean, it will certainly. It'll attract attention,
Super Saiyan.
but it's not like gonna help you see in the dark or anything.
It's like a conditioner
You
commercial.
already. Yeah.
Okay.
It's very. It's very.
So
light.
this isn't like normal for your people.
I mean, my name is Sola. I did come with the rising of the sun.
I'm just saying it is kind of hot. It's a look. It's a look. You work it. Just gonna throw that out there.
Who burned your house down?
She said a dragon.
Dragon.
That was
Your
We're
house.
Oh, yeah. That it was. I mean, it wasn't my house. It's like the entire town.
You
But
guys want to hear what I dreamed about?
yeah, you didn't even ask Holt how his morning was.
Wait, hold.
Oh,
you didn't
Who burned
sleep.
down your house?
You know what? That's
She
gonna
doesn't remember
require
this.
me to log into my email.
She doesn't want to tell you right now.
Clearly.
That is
And-
locked away information.
As you guys kind of
Mhm.
finish up your conversation, you make your way downstairs and order pancakes,
Blueberry.
blueberry.
I don't know what logged me out.
Dernan's down there, and
Does Turner never sleep?
you don't know. And the old barmaid there comes up and serves you. The reddish-haired Bonnie, you recall her name being, served you before. She says, "Oi, that'll be all then." And as she says that, the men start to make their way down as well. When she sees them, she says, "I'll go and put on some more pancakes." And
Yes.
you guys have a feast, you eat. Is there anything you wish to discuss as a group?
Vinny?
Does Big D, that's his name, right?
It's my buddy Big D, yeah.
Does he never sleep?
No idea.
Hmm.
He seems to be rather erect all the time, so just standing behind the bar.
Personal problem.
If it lasts for more than 48 hours, you know?
I think it's 4
Vinny.
hours. You should see it.
4 to 8.
Vincent.
I think it's
See a doctor.
Vincent, last night
I have
last
no
night
idea.
after I recharged, I went through my bag and there's a book here that it just seems like you could probably use it. I have no idea what it says. It's got some runes and magic stuff in it. You want to check it out?
Erect. Is that the right word? Erect.
Well, he's
Yeah.
standing erect. He's not
All right.
slumped over.
Yeah.
He's not.
Sola, did you want to see this?
It's not
Let me see the
flaccid.
book. Let me see the book.
Oh, okay, all right.
Flip through it.
What do you think?
What do I think? It's a book.
It's a book, right?
Yes,
What's
yeah.
in it?
Words.
Yeah.
Mostly words.
It's a spell book, and it
Excellent.
immediately catches
I
your
have no
interest.
idea.
And you see that the shield spell and the identify spell are both in there.
Convenient. You
And
have that paper for
That's like,
2.
there is also burning hands
Mm.
and unseen servant.
all right.
This is what I
I
want.
think we should go and tell Captain Staggart about Yova and
Oh, that's
Yovo going to Nightstone and give him that, pass along that
We
information.
don't know Yabo went to Nightstone.
Yes, we
No, the letter said pet.
because Yolo was going there.
No, Yabo got away.
Uh-huh.
Right. Some,
Yabo got
some
away.
pet is going to meet the guy or a girl, whatever that circle star
Right,
thing
right.
is, and then he is going to send his pet on a task to.
In reading through the letter, the individual requests if Yavo comes and sees his pet,
I remember.
which it was in Grumshar's room, so it stands to reason that the pet refers to Grumshar, that Yavo has a quest, or the writer has a quest for Yavo in Nightstone, has a job for Yavo in
Well, we
Nightstone.
know Yavo was an assassin, so he might be trying to kill someone. And I feel like we need to find out who the target is.
I want to go to the Weavers.
Or
Wasn't there a tower we were supposed to go to?
We wanted to, yeah.
I should check on my horses.
They're probably dead by now.
No way.
It's been days.
They're hardy. Hardier than you, skinny twig. I still love you.
Big hug.
You've known each other for all of a few
Chest
days.
bump.
But he goes flying.
Milk baby goes into the jukebox.
Yeah, so I would probably see in the less active morning time. I haven't actually looked at the wall of notes yet.
Right.
Oh,
And
yeah, I
so
forgot about that.
I would be highly interested in the whoever's seeking just the
The righteous remnant.
the righteous remnant.
Yep.
Correct. That I would certainly be interested in seeking that out.
Okay.
It speaks to me.
Okay. And any other things that you guys want to do?
I do.
Whatever happened to those prisoners that got away?
Well, Yavo is getting a task that's gonna kill some Myrtlet.
But there were like
You
two
jump to
others.
conclusions all the time.
Yes, I do.
We're gonna stop you right there.
The other two, we don't know where they went.
We don't know
Your
where any
friend.
of them went.
We don't know where your Goliath.
We
friend
do
is.
need to find a magistrate.
My surroundings are.
We do need to find a magistrate as well.
For what again?
For the
Valo
house.
said
We're
he
getting
would set
married?
that up
Oh.
after you guys
Oh,
checked
right.
out the, and he's there waiting for you. He's
Okay.
listening. Says he'll take you to the manor whenever you're ready, unless you want to do anything else
I
first.
feel like we should do that so that we don't hold up this man's day all day. That would just be straight up rude.
Real property would be nice to own.
Save money.
I don't know about
What
staying in
race
one
is this
place.
man?
Valo?
Yeah.
It's human.
On the other hand, we could go see that tower full of magical stuff and just kind of talk a little at her.
Where did
Later.
this house come from?
Vincent, you know that your master is typically active in the morning, and throughout the rest of the day, it's anyone's guess what he does.
Right, and we probably want to get some answers to questions we might have.
Like the portal.
I know. I want to speak with your
Whose
master.
house was this?
Is this?
We should have asked him before we took the deed, but
It didn't get signed
now
yet.
it's ours.
You guys want to get the paperwork signed and then spend the day apart from each other, or go to our. I don't care about some of the things that you care about, Jax, but
I don't even know what I care about.
We know.
Well,
Best
I
to live
mean,
your life on the edge.
I don't see that being a huge problem as long as we don't go around trying to stab people that we jump to conclusions about.
and we all look at Morthos.
That's not who I'm looking at.
Oh, so
I just feel like whatever we do, Sola and Hold should not be left alone because they'll bust through doors and shoot someone in the head.
Well, we have the
Justice!
legal, the code of legal. So
I'm okay. I would love to see the place, see if we can tick that off our checklist
Whoever goes.
Why are they giving us a house?
because he doesn't have money.
it's all right. I'll sign the
But whose
paperwork by
house
myself.
was it?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't it
Was
though?
it his house?
We have the deed. It doesn't matter.
I'll
Valo-
sign the paperwork
Valo
by
owns it.
myself. It's
Uh-huh.
okay.
You're questioning whether it is
Illegally
Oh,
got
yeah.
him.
I bought the house several weeks ago
I don't. I'm
to
just
do a research for my next
about
book.
it.
Uh-huh.
Time out.
Ooh.
But you live elsewhere?
I have other property, yes.
You said your next book was about like ghouls and goblins and things, right?
follows a guide to spirits and specters.
So you bought this house for research for your next book?
It's a haunted house.
I will explain when we
Oh
arrive.
my god. See why we need to ask questions?
Doesn't matter. We can
It
always sell
sounds like you want to go and talk to your master.
it. I would like that as well.
I
Yes,
will
I
meet-
would like that as
I
well.
will
It's
meet
right next
you
door.
at the Troll
Oh, it's
Skull
right next
Alley.
door?
Troll Skull Alley.
Troll Skull Alley. Whenever you arrive, I will be there.
Can you
You're just
say
gonna
it in
stand there all
English?
day?
Troll Skull Alley.
Oh, that's not a good Oh.
I prefer Candle Lane.
Has anyone seen the movie Poltergeist?
No.
Not too scary, really.
Me
Yeah,
neither.
haven't
Kind of a
invented it
chicken.
yet.
Oh yeah. It's,
All right,
it was
so
directed by Stumpy.
Vincent, you kind of take the party out into the streets and begin leading towards Name Gate Tower.
I'm very sad I never got that dress.
One day,
You'll buy it for me?
maybe.
How romantic.
And as you go, you follow Vincent, who has some pep in his step as he leads you to his home. And you meander your way towards the sea ward through the castle ward, and he gives you a bit of a speaking tour of the city as you go, explaining some of the more impressive locations that you see as you go along the way. So you are going from Yawning Portal up through the castle ward here, and then up to the sea ward Name Gate Tower, which is up here. So you're kind of tracking through here. Right? You get a
right next
close.
door.
You get a close-up view of Castle Waterdeep, high atop the slopes of Mount Waterdeep. Its gray and black stone walls, imposing to take in. As you cross onto Waterdeep Way and walk along the base of the mountain, you see many buildings that seem to be used for administrative and military purposes. The area is quite clean, with very few tenements around. You come upon a courtyard with 3 towers. The tallest is a sandstone edifice with inlaid arcane sigils made of bronze. This is right around here, right there. Vincent explains that this is a Gyron's Tower, named after the first Open Lord of Waterdeep, and really the wizard who set the city on the path to being the place of splendor it is today. Gyron's body is entombed at the top of the tower, along with several of his personal effects. It's guarded by an arcane ward that will activate if anyone gets too close, so spectators always give it a very wide berth. Next to Gyron's tower, like 2 young siblings, are the lavender, emerald, and sapphire-colored stone towers of the Weaver's Hall. Here, this guild of wizards delves into the mysteries of the arcane weave, researching lost knowledge, developing new spells and magical items, and training others to do the same. Across the courtyard from Gyron's tower in the Weaver's Hall, you see Waterdeep Palace. This is a far more lavishly decorated edifice than Waterdeep Castle, and there seems to be a constant bustle of people moving through the inspection gates on some sort of official business. As you look high up into the mountain, you see a giant stone griffin sitting atop the mountain, peering down at the city, which Vincent explains is one of the walking statues, rumored to be massive protectors of the city. As you cross the courtyard, a strange circular pattern on the cobblestone catches your eye, with a strange writing circled around its center. The sigil seems to be dark, and really no one pays it any heed. When asked, Vincent explains that no one really knows what it does. You turn up the Street of Silks, where there are several buildings with finely woven tapestries gently fluttering in the breeze. There look to be average-sized tenements mixed in with several schools and guild headquarters here. You see a sign for the Mount Melody Walk, a tunnel cut through Mount Waterdeep to New Olan's Academy for Music and Other Arts. Turning again onto Sword Street, 3 buildings catch your eye as you make your way through the top of the castle ward at the intersection with the sea ward. The first on your left is a small, squat little 3-story tower, rectangular in shape. It looks to be made entirely of obsidian. Vincent explains that this is Blackstaff Tower, the home of the Blackstaff, Vajra Safar, the highest-ranking arcanist in the city. The other 2 buildings are on your right, and you only catch glimpses of the tops of them. The first contains a magnificent vaulted dome with fluted columns. Vincent explains that this is the Font of Knowledge, a temple dedicated to Agma, the god of knowledge, and it's also the largest library in the city. The second is a stout bluestone building that has several white marble statues of warriors in battle adorning its frame. This, Vincent recalls, is the Hall of Justice, the Temple of Tyr, god of justice, and the primary site for jurisprudence in the city. As you pass from the castle ward into the sea ward, you enter into the northwest quadrant of the city. And here, kind of coming up this road here, you immediately notice the wealth and grandeur of this section of the city. While the castle ward had several magnificent buildings by themselves, and the north ward had its fair share of grand homes, the estates and structures of the sea ward make both pale in comparison when taken as a whole. The sea ward has the grandest views of the city and the sea, as it sits atop the crest of the hills leading up to Mount Waterdeep. As you leave the castle ward, your eyes are drawn back one final time to a gleaming set of spires, which Vincent tells you are the spires of the morning. Built of pink marble, you see 7 spires capped with bronze, silver, and gold that sparkle in the light of dawn. This temple is dedicated to Lathander, the god of birth and renewal, whose acolytes celebrate the rising of the sun and the birth of a new day each morning. Moving on from the spires, the next edifice that grabs your attention is the monstrous Colosseum known as the Fields of Triumph, located at the boundary with the sea ward. The primary place to take in spectacles of sport and battle, the Fields of Triumph is a giant ovular facility standing 6 stories high. Seating over 30,000, this giant complex is a sight to behold, and the gladiators and athletes who participate in its games are some of the greatest and most famous in the land. Just across the street from this gigantic arena is the largest temple in the city, the House of Heroes, a temple dedicated to the gods of war and sport, Tempest and Cord, respectively. With a flaming sword and a giant spear crossed above its entrance, the maroon and gold temple has many grand halls that celebrate the city's champions of both battle and sport. Around the corner from the House of Heroes is a walled stronghold made of yellowish granite. Glowing letters gleam along the walls in plain print, "The Righteous Remnant." Across the street from this fortress-like structure is a building with a set of stables on the ground floor, which is an out-of-place design here in the wealthy sea ward, with stairs leading up to the second floor, which you can see through a large window that appears to be some sort of hunting lodge on the inside. Hall of Pride can be read on the porch overlooking the street, the words made up of various swords, knives, and bows. As you continue down Seawatch Street, you see many grand villas owned by the various noble families of the city. Vincent explains that there are over 70 noble families, though there are a handful that are considered the most powerful. But he doesn't really pay much attention to the politics of the city and can't give you much more information than that. His pace quickens as he mentions a couple of other temples in the Sea Ward, including the Tower of Luck, dedicated to Tamora, the goddess of good fortune, the House of Inspired Hands, dedicated to Gond, the god of craft, the Shrines of Nature, dedicated to Mialiki and Sylvanus, the goddess of forests, and the god of wild nature, respectively. The House of Wonder, dedicated to Maestra, the goddess of magic. The Tower of the Moon, dedicated to Selune, goddess of the moon. And the Temple of Beauty, dedicated to Sune, goddess of love and beauty. He mentioned all of these being located in the Sea Ward, but doesn't take the time to point them out. Finally, he warns you that if you ever are wandering in the Sea Ward and come across blue tiles near a side alley, to stop and simply turn the other way. Nothing but trouble awaits those who enter that place. Eventually, you come to the intersection of Grimwald's Way and Seawatch Street. In the midst of gated estates and sprawling villas, Vincent leads your party to a solitary tower. The tower is made of oversized brownstone bricks and stands about 4 stories tall. It has no entrance near its 25-foot diameter base, which is surrounded on all sides by a small courtyard and waist-high fence. As you look up to see the top of the tower, you see that it is ringed by glass windows that look out in all directions, almost like a lighthouse. As Vincent approaches, he silently gestures, and the stones upon which he steps in the small courtyard leading up to the tower lift up into the air to form a floating staircase. He silently gestures once more, and a portion of the tower's outer wall, about 20 feet up, glides apart to reveal an inviting entrance. Vincent turns to you all.
Welcome to Name Gate, schmucks. Don't kick down doors. Don't fiddle with anything you don't recognize. This is a wizard's tower. There's things inside that you should not meddle with, because it could cost you your life.
There's metal?
No. Meddle with. Pay attention.
You said metal.
My master is very wise. He might know where you were made. He might have some answers to what's going on in the city. He might have answers to why Volo and Rainier and Floon were kidnapped. His influence spreads throughout the streets of this city. So show some respect, and he might have some answers for you.
Sounds good.
What's his name?
Name.
It's the name of the tower.
Keen Whistler.
As you all enter the sparse room with a small fire going in the hearth, a spiral staircase begins to descend from the ceiling of its own accord. You look up to see an old man waving you upward to join him. Nain Keen Whistler, as introduced by his apprentice. You see an old human man with a deeply wrinkled face. He has a closely groomed white beard with wispy, stark white hair atop his mostly balding head. He wears a blue and gray robe with a yellow eye embroidered across the back. Morthos, you immediately recognize this as the man who was in the market square speaking to the 2 women who were inspecting everything. You notice this by the robes he is wearing. As you all join him up in the topmost part of the tower, going up the spiral staircase, you look out and there is a magnificent view of the entire city. As you take it in, you can see all of the visages of the statues. You see up Mount Waterdeep. You see down over the ocean in its brilliant reflection of the sun. It's a glorious sight to behold. There you see on a table a chair that sits and looks out, one candle lit with some incense, and there are scrying dice set up there next to the table. The man goes and sits down in the chair, and it rotates of its own accord towards you. And he looks at you all.
What?
Why'd you say?
Speak up.
Chocolate. Who are you?
I feel like I know this town now.
What?
I feel like I know this town now.
Welcome to Nain Gate Tower.
Well, there's an
You are free to ask what questions you seek. I have been watching you.
Is he gonna die?
He's like that dude from Zootopia. Ha, ha, ha.
I've not seen that play.
I haven't
Is it
invented it yet.
good?
It will be.
Stumpy.
A lot of eyeballs.
Anyway, what did you wish to know?
That portal that opened up through town. Do we know where it came from?
Solo, maybe you should introduce yourself first. You know, have some respect for the
The
my
elderly.
master.
Calm down, my boy. You've done very well. Give the lady some room to speak. I know Solar already, as well as Morthos, the investigator. Hold, Melcine, Jax, Eli, and Rygar. Anyway, you were saying...
The portals. Do we know where they came from?
No.
Is there a way to trace to know where they came from? Is there some sort of magical item that would show us where
Just no.
originated from?
All this walking.
Rest assured that we are working on the origin. I believe there is one who can help, but he has gone missing, and it is my hope that perhaps you may find him.
Gone missing? Was he kidnapped?
Or is he actively being kidnapped right now?
Well, when I say gone missing, I mean that he is not within my view.
So he's just like down the stairs.
How long has he not been in your view?
Several weeks now.
What's this man's name?
His name, I will tell Vincent his name when it is time to tell him.
What's up with all the eyeballs? Is that like a cult around here?
No.
Roll a religion check.
This one. 13.
This eye is a much different eye than
The other ones.
the Xanathar symbol. Rygar, you recognize this eye. and you don't quite know what god it's affiliated with, but you know that this is a symbol of some deity that you've seen temples for.
And it's different from the one on the
you know
statue.
what this god is, yes.
What?
So do you ask? Did you ask me, or were you just thinking that, and I read your mind?
There's been a lot of eyeballs around. It's kind of creepy if you ask me, but like.
Well, the eye is a common symbol for many who revere the arcane.
Oh, I guess that's why I don't know about it. So, what, were you there that day in the square?
I was not, though I saw it from my seat here
The day of the attack?
yesterday.
Oh, it's really only been one day.
Yes.
Do you commune with the gods?
I do not commune with them, but on rare occasion, Savris will show me the way.
Has Savris shown you what Helm wants from me and our group in Waterdeep?
No, not Helm. That is a journey you must continue to pursue, young Hold.
A journey of 1,000 steps begins
With
a single.
one.
Precisely.
Master Name, please don't encourage her.
Encourage what?
I like the warrior of light. You keep fighting in the light.
I shall.
I know.
I'm waiting for him to just keel over.
So, what can you tell me about Volo, Floon, and Rainier Everember?
I can tell you much. It is a matter of what needs to be said to direct you
Why?
on the right path.
Why would two different gangs be looking for Rainier?
You already know the answer
So-
to that
Are you
question.
done? Is it true?
Why aren't we
You
after Ranier's treasure?
will determine that in time.
Did he? What the
But
heck?
yes,
Hella gel.
All right. Well, that's good to know, I guess.
What about the Black family? The Blackstones?
the Blackwoods are a noble family with much influence here in the city. What about them?
Well, like, what is really their connection to the Xanthar's Guild? Why was that execution in the first place?
I don't think you're asking the right questions yet, young Jax. But you should certainly investigate the Blackstones
I don't like that.
and their connection to your friend.
Who's your friend?
That is for her to share.
Last time I asked that, though, you said, "But yes."
Bless you.
Thank you.
How old are you?
Master.
Old.
Master. others in this city that are trying to seek the same answers.
Yes, the Black Staff
For
and Laurel are pursuing the issue of the gate.
Laurel Silverhand?
Yeah, the Open Lord.
Silverhand.
she's the
Open Lord.
she's in charge here.
Mm-hmm.
So you are. I'm gathering that the Black Guard,
Blackstone
family,
Blackwood.
you don't think highly of?
The Blackwoods. I may have had a senior moment. Did I call them the wrong name?
I don't
The
know.
Blackwoods?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm sorry. It happens
When
to the
you're-
best of us.
When you're 142 years old.
I am older than you.
Yeah. a lot of people are.
I take out my. I take out my swords. Do you know how to sharpen these?
You didn't kidnap
No.
anyone.
It's not a blacksmith.
He's a
Nor is he
wizard, not a
actively kidnapping anyone.
Did you look at the hilt for an insignia?
I look at the hilt for an insignia.
Made you look.
There's nothing there.
You see a GG with kind of a stylized gear on each of the G's around the outside.
Oh wait. No, we've seen that guy.
Can I see that? I know where to go.
Thank you. Why do you need your swords sharpened? They killed quite a few people.
And let me tell you, they're effective.
Yeah, how many people you hit?
I've been keeping track.
Okay,
So
good.
my one sword has 7 hits left. My other one I didn't touch, and that has 8.
Okay, so you hit one person in the last.
Just Eli.
Just
one?
Eli.
No, you
No,
snuck
2.
attack a guy.
Yep. So that one had one of them had 9, one of them had 8.
Yeah, so.
So the one that had 8's the same, and then I used the one
okay,
with 9
so down to
first.
7. Perfect.
Where,
Is there anything
where?
interesting in the room? I'm bored.
I want to ask another question if nobody else.
There's windows all around.
I think there's just one more question.
Yes.
Does Big D sleep?
He is always erect.
Big D.
It's my buddy, Dernan.
He is a special man. He is older than me.
Really?
He had that big sword too.
Wrong guy. You're talking about
Oh.
wrong guy.
He owns
The
the
bar.
yawning portal.
Yawning portal.
I thought you were. Never mind.
No, I'd like
Wait,
you to,
now I want to hear that thought.
I'd like you to continue that thought.
You said that was the last question.
It's the only one I had.
I have a
Did
question.
you? Nalcine, did you want to talk to him? about
I
something?
did. And I pull out my necklace and I show him.
Yes.
Can you tell me anything about this necklace?
Yes.
Will you tell me?
Will you tell me anything about this necklace?
It is not yet time. There are others you must acquire first.
Other
And
necklaces?
Then you will learn more.
What? You collect souls in that thing?
Thanos over here.
The stone of Gular, which shot away the dragon. They said that they might have had more of those. Not in the city, but in other places. Do you know where any others would be?
The dragon was sent off due to the ward
Which was Hoff.
from the Gyron's tower.
You are not an investigator.
I am not.
The stone, I do not recognize that name.
You've been here a really long time. Have
Yes.
There was a stolen.
seen anything that can break through? Like, what are the spell defenses that keep this city around?
That is something that we are looking into.
But you must have helped put up these spell defenses.
I don't think he's that old.
Are you sure?
I mean, if he's older than
Gyron was before my time, if that's what you're asking.
Looks like not that old.
Kelvin and I were friends, but he is
Kelvin?
no more. I think that this time of questioning is over. Vincent, walk with me.
Oh, you're supposed to learn a name or something.
Master, may I speak with you a second? And I kind of just glance and show him my gauntlet.
Yes, Rygar.
In private, please.
You may walk with us.
And
How romantic.
he snaps his fingers, and
Cone of silence.
you two and Nain are instantly in a pocket room,
Cool.
and you guys see them disappear, and the spiral staircase descends back down to the room with the Herc in it. You two are flanking Nain, walking down what appears to be a kind of endless hallway.
Savris has spoken to me in a whispering vision. Vincent, my boy,
Yes, Master.
there are multiple paths that you can take that lead to many ends. I should like for you to take the path of divination, as I have trained you.
A tingling sensation in your shoulder where his hand rests upon you. And you look at his face, and his smile has faded into a furrowed expression of concentration.
That last part of the sound cut out for some reason.
Well, it's a tingling sensation in your shoulder where his hand rests upon you. You look at his face, and his smile has faded into a furrowed expression of concentration. He begins to squeeze your shoulder in a way he never has before, and in a moment, he releases you and takes a slow step back.
Now, my boy, it is finished. The gift of Savris has been bestowed upon you. You have been granted a small measure of power
to pull the strings of fate as you see fit. Know that this is not granted lightly, and 'tis expected that you will use this power for the good of those you fight with, and he gestures to Rygar, and for those you fight for. In a minute. Now, before you go, I must give you something that is time for you to have. And I must ask of you a request. First, the request. And this is why you are here. My friend, a powerful wizard named Varric, is in danger. When you are ready, you must find him. His home is in the Coldwood, to the far north. It will be wise to start your search there. Rygar knows the way. He pauses for a second, and then stares at you for a moment before continuing. What I'm about to give you, I must confess I should have given you sooner. I have greatly enjoyed your company, my boy, and watching you grow into the fine young wizard, though brash and awkward that you may be. It is time that I give you the name of your sister. Her name is Diamis. Diamis Flightus.
Colitis, diamonds.
For each of your protection, I know nothing more than to start your search in Amphale. Seek out my friend, Cherise. She will point you in the next direction. I believe your synthetic friend knows where to find her. You may begin your search whenever you are ready. There are many paths before you, and most all of them go through Amphale sooner or later. I hope you are not cross with me, my boy. Please trust that this information is given now, knowing that it is time for you to have it. I will be here when you need me, unless I'm not. In which case, the way will be made clear by Savris. May the fates be with you, always.
And also with you.
And you two appear next to your friends in the room. And it is there that we are going
All
to
you
end.
get, bro.
I know!
Session.
You got to listen in.
Apparently you got importance. Is that what it was? You turned me into a wizard? Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
All right.
Generation, yeah. Fourth one.
Well, you got some battling, got some leveling up, got some story, and this was a lot of fun. And next week, I imagine we'll do some more investigating and inspecting and seeking out different places. You all know the lay of the city, at least in the Sea Ward and Castle Ward, pretty well.
You guys are gonna love me when I do next.
And we will find that all next week. Dakota, why don't you come on in and give us a rundown of things?
Come on down.
Should we roll hit points before we leave?
We're gonna do that off camera.
Just D, guys. We just
Already
D.
rolled.
Yeah, this isn't big D. Well,
No.
But come down a little lower. So we can
You're a
copy
little
the
too
camera.
erect.
Whoa.
Hey, we just lost 4 viewers.
And
Thank you
gained
guys so
6.
much. This week, thank you for everyone chatting, for watching. There's going to be times where there's a lot more role playing. There's going to be times where there's a lot more combat. So if there's ever it being one side or the other, just know that it does go back and forth. Thank you so much, everyone, such as all the follows, the likes on YouTube. Everything means a lot to us. Make sure that if you miss a piece of it and you want to know what happened, that we do keep the video files and then we upload them onto YouTube. 1 to 2 of them will be up tonight. It'll take a little bit of time to download, and then other than that, it'll be up pretty much a day or 2 after every single time. So have a wonderful rest of your night.
All right. Thank you all for joining us and being a part of our continuing adventure. We are so thankful for you to be with us and joining us. Spread the news. Tell your friends. We'd love to share this adventure with others.
Yep.
As we all will hope to see you next Tuesday as we continue to loot, die, and repeat. Have a great night.